had a junior girls game earlier on, so there's a great atmosphere that builds here. But it's round 16. Our focus is on this one, Sandringham and Richmond on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Adam, take us away with the early stages.
Billy Longer taking on Ivan Soldo. Neither really got their hands on the footy. And it's a hot one here as the Tigers do slowly edge it toward the broadcast wing of the ground. Here's Bolton. Picks up the bouncing ball, has to get away from one tackler. Wanted Ballard by hand, eventually bouncing to his lap, but immediate pressure on him, and the Zebras do win the ball back. Hand pass came back out to Caulfield, went all the way back, and some pressure now on Sequel to deal with. Ball does spill out. Wayward handball. Bolton missed it. It's on ground level, right in front of Stoney. Umpire will call for a ball up near the boundary line.
Bit of pressure, a lot of pressure around the ball early, and Sandringham really up for the fight this afternoon.
Perfect day for footy. Good crowd in as well. Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Umpire throws it up. One of 3 games in the Peter Jackson VFL today for round 16. One club definitely looking at finals. One just hoping to keep their finals hopes alive today in what is a very even season. As we have another stoppage. Umpire throws it up. Soldo. Again, easily beat Longer that time, but ball's on ground level. Sequel with another tackle. Another stoppage.
And hear that breeze picking up in the effects mics as well, and we'll have that throughout the day. So Soldo again getting the tap down, first use for the Tigers. We're into the middle of the ground, player being taken without it, but working through there was Miles. Now they get a kick inside the 50. It's going to be turned over though, and Goddard comes in, takes the relieving mark. Still inside defensive 50, the Zebras go. The kick across the ground finds Nathan Freeman, who goes short to defensive 50, where White takes the mark. Oh, the kick is terrible though. He kicked it straight to Silvestro, who's wrapped up in the tackle, eventually dispossessed, but the Tigers still with an opportunity. Handball over the top. Trying to get there is Townsend. He's worried off it. Ainsworth kicking towards the boundary line outside the 50. The whole lot of hands going up saying deliberate. Umpire says no, we'll throw it in half forward for the Tigers. That was a bad error. 2 minutes into this opening quarter. Still in the Tigers attacking zone.
So Akers kicks to a very open half forward line here for the Zebras. It's a bouncing ball and well picked up, but immediate pressure for Payton. So the kick didn't really go far. Still a Zebras ball. Zilla gets his hand pass out. Payton once more goes wide. Inside 50 for the first time today, Sandringham. And a good strong mark taken by Hayden. Noted goal kicker goes short. Akers wasn't 15, just outside 50. Akers goes for home. All the way to the top of the square. No mark taken. Tigers will repel this back out. Bouncing ball. On the wing, Stengel picked it up. There is a whistle. A free kick will go the Zebras' way. It's quickly taken by Noon. Went inboard by hand, but into some pressure. The ball's just pinballing around here at the moment. Tigers do win it back. Hand pass. Looking for a teammate there, didn't quite find Miles. Now going to ground, a good tackle there on Freeman. Eventually the Zebras come out with it, go backward to go forward. Goddard, standing start, left foot. Out near in front of the scoreboard, no score yet on the board. Good mark by Morris, although was it paid? It was. It's a Morris ball here for the Tigers.
Yeah, he takes it. I want to hear about the 23rd player for Richmond too, Joel Cusack, in a moment, Stoney, as Morris goes high from half back to half forward. Goddard in a good position, just taken off it by his teammate. It falls to ground. Ballard is there. His kick going inside the 50. It's going to beat the initial pack. Here's a goal coming up for the Tigers. First on the board, and it's one over the top. Nicely taken. Liam Baker is the player. And that's one of the easier goals he's going to kick in his career. He's got 10 on the season. He's 11 games. Make that 11 now. And it's 1 straight 6 Richmond. Sandringham yet to score. 4 minutes gone this opening quarter on the Tyre Power scoreboard, Adam. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer. They're on board between now and the end of the season.
Good to have Tyre Power on board. Just around the grounds, 3/4 time at Skybus Stadium, 13-11-89 North Melbourne, leading Frankston 8-6-54.
Yeah, so just that good goal there, the Richmond side, but they've got the breeze, and the player there ran onto the ball and read the breeze beautifully for that goal. And I'll talk about the Sandringham 23rd play in a moment.
So a centre square infringement, so a free kick for the Tigers. They go into attack once more. Baker, the goal kicker, escapes with the footy. Looked at the sticks, needed to go back by hand. Now rush shot on goal on the left. Is it 2 in a minute?
Lloyd.
Sam Lloyd, what a star in the Peter Jackson VFL. 2 straight 12 for the Tigers. Sandringham yet to score.
And yeah, go on, Pete.
Let's talk about that 23rd player. We're talking about the 23rd player for Sandringham, aren't we, Stoney?
We are, correct.
Kai Owens.
Right. No, we're talking about the
for Richmond. I was right the first time. Joel Cusack.
Joel Cusack. So Joel Cusack is a Beau Morris player and played with Vic Metro last week. Got best on ground. We brought him in. It's great for the 23rd player to get an opportunity to play with these VFL sides, and a good addition to the Richmond side, who, strong enough as they are, pull in a player and go from there.
2 straight 12, plays no score. It's on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice. Tyre Power is ball back in the middle, just bobbling around here. Akers trying to remove it, but again the Tigers with an opportunity. Here's Stengel, 360, but still managed to get the footy away. Now a long ball, deep ball, it's through for a behind. They're just going to be peppering the goals, and you suspect anything around 55 metres is a chance. Quick kick out will come to Goddard, who goes even shorter. Now they've got an opportunity to clear the 50 here, the Zebras, and they do. Mike Cook gets onto it. Handball across, Goddard driving by. Just kicks it up as far as he possibly can. Now, was that tunnelling? No, said the umpire. Working there, Owens. Here's the 23rd player for Sandringham, taken over the line. And we'll have it thrown in. True centre wing position on the bay side. We've had some wonderful times here, haven't we, Stoney, at this ground?
We had some great times, mate.
We have. As the ball's tossed back in. They do a good job here at Sandringham. It was Soldo's head, but they're still going to get the ball here, Tigers, as they move it inside 50. But again, Goddard getting into absolutely everything at the moment for Sandringham. He takes the defensive mark.
Looks to switch. Now that's a half dangerous ball, but just placed it well enough for White to take a safe mark in the end for the Zebras. One of the St Kilda listed players, 11 Saints out there today. Tigers have 13 AFL players. The kick's the turnover, and it's marked by Naish.
Now he's from this distance, not a problem. You would think with the breeze.
Another father-son.
Does he go right goalpost here, Stoney? Let it bend back?
Yeah, he sort of goes, you're right. Yep, he's left. But
now I'm confused.
Thanks for clarifying that.
I'm not sure I understand exactly what this ball's going to do now. Naish with the kick on the way, misses near side, first blemish of the day. No, it's their second.
Neither did he.
2-2-14, Zebras yet to score. We are 7.5 minutes.
So if the breeze is blowing straight in your face, he's got to aim for the right Gold Coast, which will take it straight through the middle.
Gold Coast or Gold Post?
Gold Post.
Right.
I say Gold Coast, right?
Yeah, they won yesterday. I know where you'd rather be. That's all on the Tyre Power scoreboard, by the way. As the ball in dispute here on 50 for Richmond. Backer players on top of it and going nowhere. The umpire will come in and intervene. Oh, boy, it was warm in London. I've got to tell you, Stoney. It was
suntan?
31 degrees. I did.
31?
They were all melting.
Wow.
Goodness, between 25 and 31 for the 2 weeks. It was extraordinary. Anyway, Canellan's got the ball here for Sandringham. He's dragged down, going nowhere. The umpire will throw the ball
Strawberries and cream?
I did.
Yes.
Pims. Got stuck into that as well.
Yeah, Pims lemonade or just the Pims?
Just the Pims, they do. You have to soften it a touch. It's quite syrupy. It's quite strong if you have it just on its own. As the ball heading forward for Sandringham, more cooking tips later. Payton gets onto it for the Zebras. He's kicked further afield for Cook. Cook kicking up towards half forward, just over the head there of McLean. It goes over the boundary line, and it will be a free kick or throw-in. No, it's a throw-in. Yeah, whistle's going everywhere. It will be a throw-in. It was right the first time.
So I reckon if Sandringham can hold Richmond's first quarter to around 4 goals, they've done a good job, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. I think with the home ground advantage that they'd have a really good grasp on how to play these conditions.
Absolutely.
And that would be a good result. Anyway, Tigers heading up towards centre wing, out of bounds on the full. It will be turned over. And Nick Caulfield to take the free kick. Daniel Caulfield playing for Richmond today. So both Caulfield boys out there playing on opposite teams.
Brothers in arms.
And, well, not today.
No.
So kick goes down the line towards half forward. No mark was taken there. It's Miles that picks up for Richmond. Hand pass Bolton one way then the other. Got held up. Ball spills out of play. Just on the outskirts of 50 for the Zebras. Waiting for their first score of the day on the Tyre Power scoreboard. 2-2-14 Richmond. Soldo and Longer. It's Big Ivan who almost got a hand on it, but Akers is the man that gets the Zebras inside 50. It's a bouncing ball here. Tigers get front position to it. It's pushed out of it. That time was Baker. Now the Tigers will escape defensive 50. Kick comes down the line. Just a dropped mark in the end. And a boundary throw in. Fair effort to get in the front position there by Claverino, but couldn't take the grab.
That's disappointing. That was right in front of you, Stoney. If they had that, they were away. Ball on centre wing. 14 plays, 0. Tigers in front. Tyre Power scoreboard here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Ballard runs onto the footy. It was dispossessed. Wood trying to pick it up for Richmond. Still got some outliers. Now the kick going deep inside the 50. Oh, this will be fortuitous as well, you would think. Off the boot. Bolter going across the face. And it will be a throw-in. Deep into attack. About 5 metres around from the behind post for Richmond, who are doing the attacking in this opening quarter with the breeze.
There's some big boys out there for Richmond. Bolter is a massive man, and just yeah, big they are. This Richmond team are huge.
Yeah, as the ball's tossed back in under a little bit of pressure there, Freeman just had to get the handball out. Now there's trouble. The ball going absolutely nowhere, and the umpire says, "Give it to me." Kate Ainsworth getting a little push for his trouble over the top there. Still deep into attack. Forward pocket for Richmond is the usual sort of who's in the ruck. You and you. Rightio, let's go. Longer will just grab it out of the ruck, and he was taken off the footy. Still managed to get it away. Freeman, quick kick off the boots, going long, going right near the boundary line. Ernst, free kick or out or mark. Doesn't matter. He wants to go on with it. He'll go short. And kick is okay, finds Miles. Now, Miles is probably too far out to score, but with the breeze, he's going to put it right to the top of the square. They fly Soldo from the back, couldn't take the mark. Around the body here is Joyce, who again just trying to clear the area, find some sort of sanctuary. It may only be temporary though.
If Sam Lloyd got the ball, is he going to take the kick?
He's the one standing there. So out of bounds on the full. Lloyd's the one that's going to get it.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh no, it bounced beforehand. Lloyd thinks it was out of bounds on the full. The boundary umpire says, no, I'm going to get to work here. 12 minutes in. And, well, it did work out for longer in the end. But here's a quick kick out of the pack into the goal square goal. Another one. And you'd think there's a very muted response. Not a lot of Tigers supporters down in our particular section, but Ballard's kicked the goal. And that's his first for the afternoon. His 8th for the season. And they are flying along at the moment. They're peppering the goals, but we should remind you here on Peter Jackson VFL Live, they do have the breeze. 13 minutes gone in this opening term. It's 3-2-20 Richmond. Sandringham yet to score on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
And Ballard is another interesting player and massive unit also. So he just worked.
Lost Stoney there around the grounds. Hawks by 47 points against the Blues at Etihad Stadium.
Stop smiling.
Back live. Cook goes inside 50. Bouncing ball. Ernest is back there for the Tigers. Needs some shepherding assistance from Garthwaite. Didn't come. So he got forced out of play. Boundary throw in inside. Forward 50 for the still scoreless Zebras.
Stoney, what would Ernest's nickname be?
Deadly.
Yep, gotcha. Got it in one.
Adam, you remember Deadly Ernest?
No. Boundary throw. I've got no idea what you're talking about. Boundary throw in. Cook tackled as he kicked it. Sometimes you guys forget I am a millennial. Inside 50 we go, and a high clearing ball from Morris. It went very high, not all that far. Diving effort. Mark was almost taken. Sequel gets his hand pass out, and just a fumble of the footy and a turnover. Bolter wins it back for Richmond. High right foot. It's going to go into a very, very empty 50. Look at the wind carry that footy. It went all of 70. And it's going to be gathered on the last line of defence. A little kick out.
Oh,
that's a really good tackle by Bolter. Great follow-up work. And a ball up. Up close, you're right, Stoney. He's a physical specimen, Noah Bolter.
Just to that kick, you're right, Adam. It was 70 metres, no doubt about that. It just that's how strong the breeze is when you get it up in the air. It's pretty windy and blustery out here.
Almost in a Jonathan Simpkin with that kick. Just bounced the wrong way. Stengel. Ball does eventually come out, and over the top of it, Lloyd did well to keep his eye on the footy and win it for the Tigers, but the kick inside 50, not so good. Results in a turnover. Pike has it.
Mike Cook.
Mike Cook.
You're kind of putting lots of different places, lots of different people together there all at once. Ball here in dispute again. Whistle, free kick. I think it'll go the Zebras' way. It will. No, it's going to go the Tigers' way. Not sure entirely what that was for. Being on that far side, the kick is okay. Baker's got it. Now, again within range, Stoney.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well within range, because you're going to kick from just on the 50.
He get the journey here, no problem.
Liam Baker, as he sets up to have a shot at goal. Very deliberate approach. Right on the 50. Giving absolutely everything, but missed to the near side. 3-3-21 plays no score. 15, almost 16 gone in the opening quarter on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. And these two teams played back in round 7, and it was a win easily for the Tigers. 14-14, 98 to Sandringham, 4-9-33. Adam.
White's kick toward the outer side, well picked up. Claverino, though the handball wasn't so great. Baker there. Kick smothered off his boot. Silvestro over the top of it for Richmond. Immediate pressure on him. Good tackling there that time from Oscar Claverino, and a ball up just at the edge of the square.
That was at Home Park in downtown Beaconsfield.
It was.
And that's a great facility down there at Beaconsfield. They're well under the council and the club.
And that's where Richmond picked up their win against North Melbourne last week as well. Silvestro tried to sock that one off the ground. Now another tackle here from Wood. Ball does eventually come out. Ballard missed his tackle. Ball comes back in toward the chaos. It's a hard ball to win this one. And eventually umpire does cross his arm. Sean Manor, the man that had the ball last for Richmond.
But it is a good result at the moment for Sandringham. As Stoney said, want to keep Richmond to 4 goals with this breeze. I think that will be a good result.
They will go inside 50 here. They might take a noon, collided with the teammate. No kick that time. Stengel gets his air pass out. Now Bolton with the snap. Missing just. Almost out of bounds on the full. Another minor score on the Tyre Power scoreboard, 3-4-22. Sandringham still scoreless there going into the breeze. 17.5 in.
Yeah, it is a tricky breeze, but again, you just got to be careful with this breeze too, Stoney, that you don't blaze away and don't waste opportunities when you've got it. Is this kick going long outside the 50? It's a good mark. Now they're away here, the Zebras. Oh no, only temporarily. Silvestro got in the way of the footy for Richmond with the intercept. Now they've got some numbers. Morris has taken off the footy. Free kick. And it will go the way of Morris. He was taken off the footy. The kick to Lloyd, who's 60 from goal. They've got some run here. The Tigers, little chipper ball is okay. Yep, that's a good mark taken. Brewer takes the mark. And that was nicely done again. That's what I'm talking about, Stoney. It's not necessarily running in and blazing away at the sticks, lowering the eyes, and now having the set shot.
You said in one coach speak, lower the eyes, son. Look for your option coming out from the goal square, and you got a shot at goal.
Probably wouldn't have run with the sun bit, but you know, the rest of it was fine. Brewer, 9 games, 9 goals this season.
That's a goal.
Been a good player for the Tigers, and you can see why. His first, their fourth. 4-4-28, plays no score. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power, as we've played 19 minutes in this opening quarter. And while I've been commentating, Stoney, and my co-commentator's been doing some research.
Yes.
Deadly Ernest was a late night horror host, active on Australian television.
You know, what was his catchphrase?
Go on, Pete.
Good evening.
But the key here, Stoney, between 1961 and 1978.
Yeah,
so he was done 11 years before I was born.
It's 11.
Yes.
Blake Brewer, doing some homework. He's a Queensland, I think, Blake Brewer.
Ex-Brisbane line.
Yeah, and was looking for a VFL club and found Richmond and hopes to get redrafted. So good story, that one. And managed by the one and only Tim Hazel, his manager, Blake Brewer.
There's a name we know on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Yes.
Manor couldn't escape with the footy, so we'll ball up again. Longer involved again. Alice won the footy. Handball just a bit wayward for Ballard. Had to get on all fours and give it to his captain, Morris, but he went back in toward the chaos. Another hand pass out, but Cook's in the way for Sandringham, and a little dinky kick toward half forward. Tried to set up a teammate, Morris. Just applying a little bit of pressure there, but winning the ball, Hayden. As the Tigers win it back in the middle of the ground, Miles, quick hands off, and they will attack once more. Little kick toward half forward. It does just enter the forward 50. It's a 2-on-1 here in favour of Sandringham, but very well picked up there by Arts. He got brought down pretty quickly. Back toward the middle of the ground he went. Wood was there, escaping with the footy for Sandringham.
Oh, no.
It's a turnover.
Holding the footy advantage
and
if it goes
points
through.
As a result. Strange little piece of play there. A few mistakes. Townsend had a quick snap on goal, and they're wasting some opportunities early here, the Tigers.
As the kick goes in short, Goddard's got it, back pocket, works it onto Caulfield as they work their way back out. Dangerous footy, Lamb, leading goal kicker for Sandringham. The ball popped up, it was touched. Payton just managed to get it down. Oh, the kick from Akers has been turned over. Tricky breeze, but even then the skill error really crucial. Baker's got it on centre wing for the Tigers. Sends them straight back in. His kick going high into the pocket. No one can take the mark, and Sandringham under all sorts of pressure. Solder loading the mark. He's put the hand up. Eventually the ball spills free. Silvestro trying to get his way through. He just fumbled at the crucial moment. It's in the goal square. He's got another shot. He has a goal. This time, second chance. Silvestro puts through his first for the day. That's their fifth. 5-5-35 plays, no score. We've gone 21 and a half minutes in this opening quarter on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer around the grounds. It's a 47-point lead for Hawthorn against Carlton. That's a half-time score there, 55 to 8. 15-12, 102 North Melbourne leading Frankston 8-6-54. And I think we're having some live scores trouble from Avalon Airport Oval, because that is still showing 6-1-37 to 1-5-11, that one between Werribee and the Northern Blues. See if we can figure out what's going on there exactly. Back in the middle.
Hang on,
start for the Tigers. Thank you, Stoney. Just work your connections.
You'll find it's 9-3-57 to 2-11-23. Blues in front, half-time. Half-time score there.
Recalled ball up here, and again Alice with the clearance. The hand pass go wide for Manor. Picks up the footy, has time to assess his options. Little kick inside 50 for Lloyd. Don't think he was expecting it. Didn't take the mark in the end. Baker left it behind. Goddard's hand pass, not great. Ball's just pinballing around here in the hot spot. Baker again got his hand pass out. Tigers looking for some space and a chance at goal. Ellis works his way through. Left foot toward the square. No mark taken there. Gruel with the pressure. Out the back, clearing ball out there from Lamb. Now at half back, around the body, Weikart. Kick didn't go far. Turnover once more. So the Tigers will work it inboard. The kick toward Bolton. Got the jump on it. Couldn't take the mark. Has Lloyd for help. Went wider still. And now a little kick inside 50. Offhand Silvestro again. Number 6 for the Tigers. 6-5-41. Sandringham, nothing on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Into time on opening turn.
It's just the pressure that Richmond put around the ball carrier. And just as their AFL team does, they play the same brand of footy, put a lot of pressure around the ball carrier. They feel the ball spills out, have shots on goal, and that's why they're 6 goals at this stage.
Around the grounds, 102-54, North Melbourne leading Frankston. That's final quarter action there at Frankston, Skybus Stadium. Going to call Frankston Oval. Corrected myself there. So North Melbourne will go to 7-7 on the season. Meanwhile here, ideal start for Richmond. You look at the quality all the way down their list. Soldo working with Longer notionally getting the tap down as the ball's eventually cleared. A long ball by Akers deep inside the 50 is going to be turned over again. And they've got the work done defensively. Admittedly, the defence hasn't had a lot of work to do, but now they're under a bit of pressure as Payton forced to just lay the handball out, but coming through Miles from half-back. His kick, though, short, turned over. Claverino wants to play on, needs to play on. Ainsworth as they work the ball over the top. The outlier here is Lamb. He's a long way out from goal. They got the handball out, now the kick. is okay. Claverino again. The ball was taken out of his hands. No 50s on the edge of the square. Just into attack here for Sandy. Goes to centre half forwards. One grab, not the second for Akers. He couldn't take it. Now the turnover is on. They work their way through the middle of the ground here. The Tigers, they've got numbers all over the place. The kick going deep, the kick going long, the kick not going straight though. Running back with the flight was Stengel. He just couldn't get there in time. In fact, the ball's gone out of bounds. We'll have it thrown in. It is a good result. The absolutely ideal result here.
Anthony Miles hasn't had much of the ball, so he's not having the best of game at the moment. So they're still doing very well.
As the ball tossed back in, I'm trying to get hands to it. Gruitt getting in there as well, and a free kick. It's a free kick for too high. No, an advantage paid as Lamb clears the area outside the 50 for Sandringham. Weikart gets hands to it, just shoots the handball out, trying to find someone in space. And that player was Kai Owens, the 23rd player for Sandringham. He ran out of room and will have it thrown in at half forward for Richmond. We're coming up to 26 minutes gone in this opening quarter. 6-5-41 Richmond. Sandringham yet to score. Tyre Power scoreboard here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Bit going on behind the ball too, inside the 50, and there's a free kick. Will go the way of the Tigers. There was push and shove. It was Ainsworth, I think.
Yeah, he's going to give the free kick away.
Yeah, and I think is it Ballard who's going to get the free kick?
I think it was Townsend. Now, he was supposed to come off for a blood rule. He's actually making his way off now.
It happened before that, I reckon, Adam. Just before that, I reckon.
Just before that? Because I saw Townsend go down. He's coming off now in front of you, Stoney.
Bit of push and shove too, just inside 50 here for Richmond. I just saw the tail end of it. I saw the end result. Didn't see the lead up to it. So this is going to be, well, this is bad for Sandringham because the ball was in a neutral position, and now the shot at goal for Richmond, and it's through. They got another one, and this is dangerous now for Sandringham, breeze or not. And Baker's got his second. And on the Tyre Power scoreboard, they move to 7-5-47. Sandringham yet to score. We've played 27 minutes in this opening term. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
Interesting to see what Aaron Harrell says at quarter time with regards 7 goals. You wouldn't kick against the Breeze and get 7 goals kicked against you. Not a really good result, I would think.
So back in the middle for the 7th time. 7 goals on the board for the Tigers already, a half ton. Almost on the board before we even get to quarter time. That's a good tackle by Wood. Good defensive pressure by the Tigers so far today.
Didn't mention too that Stoney's got a bit of boundary competition today.
All the best, Stoney. Kick toward the broadcast side of the ground towards Stoney. He might get a touch here.
Oh boy, that came in quick.
Boundary throw in.
The Richmond boys standing on the left-hand side of me, all the senior boys. Just having a look at their teammates.
So when Townsend came off there, just a bit of a bloody mouth there, I think I saw, Stoney.
Yeah, so he's got the doctor looking at the moment, just patching him up at the moment, so cut to the mouth.
Bolter won the footy, but the kick didn't go far. It went straight down the throat of Noon. Inside defensive 50 for the Zebras. Still scoreless on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Switching ball, a very dangerous one for Goddard to navigate. No mark was taken. Good tackle, but once the umpire spotted here by White, free kick will go his way.
Gee, we're looking here at Nick Caulfield on the other side of the ground. Our broadcast side is screaming for it. It's not going to come across the ground, I wouldn't have thought.
White goes down the line. Pretty easy ball in the end, and they're going to work this one. Ballard with the tackle.
Gee.
Silvestro's there for Richmond to claim it back for the Tigers. Hand pass out, and they will go inside 50 once more. Baker kicked the most recent goal in the game. Quick hands off. They're looking for number 8 and Lloyd to finish. 8-5-53. They raise the bat after only 29 minutes of action. Sandringham nothing on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power.
Pedestrian.
Well, it was a bit, wasn't it? 2 goals to Sam Lloyd as well. And Stoney, this is real sort of danger signs now because we're well over that 4 goals. well over the 4 goals.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they go with the, obviously with this second quarter, with the Breeze in the second quarter, see if they can get any inroads, and it'll be about Richmond's defence. But
it's not an 8-goal Breeze, is it, Stone?
No, it's probably 3 or 4 goal Breeze, absolutely. It's strong, it's sort of gusty, but it's not 8 goals.
McLean into the ruck here for Sandringham. The ball still inside the centre circles. We'll throw it up again. 30 minutes gone in this opening term. What a quarter it's been for Richmond. See why they're one of the flag favourites, Seckle, as he gets the ball for Sandringham now. They could just sneak a late one. There's the ball over the head here, working Canellan. Just wheels around, goes with a high kick inside the 50. No mark taken, under pressure there, Lomans, and again the ball's been turned over. It's going to come straight back though. Lamb takes the mark. Too far out to score for Sandringham. He just squares the ball up. Oh, almost the mark taken by McLean. And again, it's going to be cleared by the Tigers. Working his way into space here is Arts. Got to get around some traffic. Did that pretty easily in the end, and they've got some overlap too. This is far too easy for the Tigers. Another shot at goal,
Miles.
And another result. You talked about Miles working his way into the game. Well, guess what? He's now got another one on the board. And this is a procession. And this is a hell of a head start, let's be honest. We've played 31 minutes in this opening term, and they just continue to pile on the goals, the Tigers. This could be quite a long quarter too. Sandringham, no score. Richmond, 9-5-59. Tyre Power scoreboard. And wow, I think Aaron Hamill plenty to think about as they head into quarter time.
No matter where you look, it's blowouts everywhere at the moment. Hawthorn are 8, 7-55, Carlton 1-8, and then in the Peter Jackson VFL, it's North Melbourne by 51 points over Frankston. That one's into the final term, into time on of the final term, and at half time it's a big lead for the Northern Blues over Werribee. So no close games anywhere you look at the moment. There is a zebra down
Mike Cook
just behind the play here. They will win the footy. Payton sends them inside 50. Can they get a score on the board before quarter time? Not this time.
Mike Cook's still in the hands of the trainer. He's just getting up now in the centre circles.
Canellan's marked it. Is he in scoring range, Stoney?
Well, he's going to kick into the Breeze, so he's going to be a good kick.
He's giving himself a chance at a big roost here. The kick came right on the siren. It will count right on the line. It's killed off before it crosses the line, so they will remain scoreless to quarter time on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Sandringham 0-0-0 Richmond. 9-5-59 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
Now Mike Cook's still down in the middle of the ground, Stoney. The trainer went to him and then went away, and he's been just down for a little while. Now he gets up, he's going to slowly walk to the huddle, so might have just been a little bit winded in that contest. The goal kickers to quarter time, 2 each to Lloyd, Baker and Silvestro, and singles to Miles, Ballard and Brewer. They're the 9 for Richmond. It was a procession. They did have the breeze in that opening quarter. We'll take a break. On the other side of the break, we'll go around the grounds. We'll get you a final score, or close to a final score, from down at Frankston. We'll see if they're away in the second half over at Werribee, and then we'll have the second quarter action not too far away. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
This weekend is This weekend is the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation's Love the Game round, and we're all taking part.
For the players, coaches,
and the fans.
There's heaps of reasons to love the game.
So this weekend we're celebrating footy in its purest form by taking the focus off the odds.
3/4 of our kids think that gambling is a normal part of our sport.
And they're not aware of the risks.
That doesn't sit well with us.
It isn't why we choose to be a part of this great game.
So while enjoying this weekend's footy,
make sure to have the talk with the kids in your life and help them understand that gambling and sport
don't have to go together.
Get excited for another big round of footy this weekend.
Cheer on your team.
And remember,
love the game, not the odds.
Best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved. Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved. Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Quarter time here at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. It is a great day for footy, not so much for Sandringham at this stage. It's 9-5-59 Richmond. Sandringham yet to score. Richmond with the breeze in the opening quarter. Both sides still in their huddles, and this weekend the Victorian football community is encouraging fans to love the game, not the odds, as part of the 2018 Love the Game round. AFL Victoria, in partnership with the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation, is showing its support for the Love the Game campaign via the dedicated Love the Game round, along with all 10 Victorian AFL clubs, the state league competitions, 23 community leagues and clubs around the state. And united by passion for the game, the aim of the round is to remind fans and players alike that sport and betting don't have to go together, despite the significant amount of advertising that has become part of the sporting landscape. During this year's round, parents and other influential adults are being encouraged to talk to their kids in their life about the risks and potential harms associated with sports betting, so that they can develop a more balanced, realistic understanding of how gambling works. So there'll be plenty happening around local competitions and obviously here today as part of the Love the Game round. Let's go around the grounds, Adam. What's happening in the various matches underway?
Third term underway between Werribee and the Northern Blues, Avalon Airport Oval. Werribee shocking kicking today, 3-11-29 leading the Northern Blues 10-3-63. We have a final score from Skybus Stadium. It was North Melbourne 16-17-113 defeating Frankston 8-7-55. That game has come to a close. Still half-time between Carlton and Hawthorn. It is Hawthorn by 47 points at Etihad Stadium.
Doing it comfortably there. So North Melbourne comfortable in the end over Frankston down at Skybus Stadium. And so they go to 7-7 and remain, I think, in 10th spot. But we'll have a look through the ladder a little bit later in the broadcast.
Confirm North Melbourne 7th on the live ladder as we speak, percentage of 87.51. Frankston is 14th, still with those two wins, 2-12.
Pierre?
Yes.
Adam, you're going to find something interesting. Why do you see the Sandringham jumpers? They've actually changed jumpers at quarter time.
Why have they changed jumpers?
Is there a clash?
There was a clash, and so they've asked whether they can change. They've changed all the jumpers.
What about numbers? Have we got any new numbers?
Same numbers.
Okay. That's all we kind of worry about. I did find there was a bit of a clash between the two teams. They both wear sort of really bright yellow jumpers, both Richmond and Sandringham, with the black as well. So I reckon there was a bit of a clash in that first term. So it might help us.
All right, jump in, Stoney, if you get someone.
I can't actually go grab Aaron. So just, Brucey, change numbers this quarter will be the same?
They'll be different.
They'll be different.
Most will be the same.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Oh,
there's a bit of controversy.
Brucey, the team manager, he's not happy.
There's a bit of, he said most of them, he said some might be a bit different. So, boys.
Oh, goodness me.
That's going to be fun.
We love the game. Just love the game rounds. Rightio. Well, we apologise in advance.
Do we ask
if your player...
At half time, what I'll do is I'll get a new list off the Sandringham team.
You might need to help us with some play-by-play, Stoney. If you can get yourself a list in this second term, you might have to call someone to play for us.
Yeah, okay. Try and do that. Well, here we go.
Wow, okay.
This is going to be done forensically through this second quarter.
I seen it happening in quarter time. I'm thinking, no, they're not going to do this, are they?
I reckon that would be a first. A team changing its jumpers after the first quarter. That is unbelievable.
Hawthorn did do it once in a pre-season game, I think. Stoney, remember when the Hawks actually wore the T-shirt jumpers?
Yeah, I did. I
reckon the Hawks swapped to the old traditional singlet jumper in the middle of an old Ansett Cup game, going a long way back.
Right, well, the ball's in the middle, and it's anyone's guess how we go from here.
That'd be longer.
It is longer. No, I've got that one. That's okay.
He's wearing 60.
Work our way through. Oh, dear. Anyway, the ball off hands. We can see Lloyd kicking deep inside the 50 into the pocket. It's been turned over by a Sandringham player. I mean, we're just making this up as we go along anyway. I think we should be okay on safe ground here. Sylvester, not Sylvester, what am I talking about? Acres. I've got no idea what's going on now. Anyway, they've got to get goals on the board quickly. They've just got to get something going on here. Caulfield for Sandringham. The kick up the line. Lomitz, he couldn't take the mark. He has a second go at it. Puts the head down. Dispossessed. Ball still in dispute on the base side. It's going absolutely nowhere. And Acres held up again. I assume that's Acres. I assume 64 still means 64.
Yeah, Brucey said that most of the jumpers are the same. We know this is longer here.
Yeah. Yes, we do. So we managed to position longer. He's 60, not 69. Anyway, ball in dispute here. Is that going to be a free kick for a push? Yes, it is.
In all seriousness, Stoney, how could Sandringham have not foreseen this? Or at least, I mean, Richmond is the away team, maybe coming up with a different jumper.
That's a good question.
Inside during the week, the team managers talk to each other, clubs talk to them, so the VFL puts out their what colours, and then they just got us, yep, that's okay.
There's the kick inside 50. Lloyd got up, couldn't take the mark. Now they just need some sort of clearance here. The Zebras in a bit of trouble is Payton, and he's being dispossessed. Another opportunity. Here's a chance. Ellis, kick inside the 50, little shorty ball, no mark taken. Still trying to find a way through. Payton, he's been dispossessed again. Good pressure again from the Tigers forwards. Lloyd ridden into the ground. And the umpire says, give it to me. Deep into attack here for Richmond. As long as doing the tackling. I will go to that email. I think I've just got it with me. The one during the week where they do put out the colours as ball off hands. And eventually the Zebra should clear. It may only be temporary because Morris is leading in the race for this footy. Allows his teammate to work past. And that's sensible because the ball with Naish. And now off hands, being worried off at noon. Good tackling pressure on Morris. It goes over the line, we'll have it thrown in. 9:5:59 plays no score. We've played 2.5 minutes on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power.
In the call there in the first quarter, did you have any issue with the jumper obviously calling the play?
No, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have too many problems myself, Stoney. Okay. This does help though.
Yep.
So the Zebras have the ball at the moment. Little dinky kick down the line. Lloyd didn't get close enough to it. I think it did come off a knee. So it's a boundary throw in. Just ricocheted out of play in front of the Tyre Power scoreboard.
Interesting because in the matches in the lead up, so Sandringham were told home jumper dark shorts, Richmond alternate jumper white shorts. So they're yellow and black. And of course they're
black and yellow.
Black and yellow, yes. But different sort of design as well. So it wasn't that hard to pick out.
Alright, here's Ernest for the Tigers. Kick goes toward the goal square. And that's a good relieving mark there taken by Joyce. He'll go over the top. Now away White. Clearing ball on the left toward the outer wing. Beach Road side of the ground. A foot race for it. High bouncing ball. Morris is back there. Eventually the Tigers will pick it up through Caulfield. Well, he ran into some trouble. Lormetz, a little kick forward. Chance here for the Zebras finally. Hayden to finish. This will be their first score, and it's a goal. Finally, one straight 6 to 9.5.59 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. Second term, 4 minutes in.
Hayden, he's been a good player. The times I've seen him this year, he's a lively type forward and certainly knows.
I think we've lost Stoney again. That was goal number 15 for his season. But you are right, Stoney. He's been a lively type in front of the sticks. Had his moments in the first term as well. Good size about him as well.
He's like a little nuggety small forward.
He's well built.
He's well built.
When you think about this Sandringham team, think about the St Kilda players in the Sandringham team. You know, the jockeying for spots when a side at AFL level, obviously not going to make finals, struggling big time. I mean, there's so much competition for spots.
There's 11 of them out there today.
So the ball tossed back up. Longer getting it down, but again, it's going to be another clearance for Townsend of the Tigers. He's got outliers here and plenty of room too. He's working his way through his manner, who can go for a stroll and go for a long, deep ball. Oh, that is a sensational mark. That off another player, off your teammate. You're ruffling it off. You're going back with the flight, and you stand there as Joel Cusack did. Stoney talked about him in the opening quarter, what sort of form he is in. He's a 23rd player here for Richmond, but he is one definitely we should be looking out for, and I would say be on plenty of recruiters' radars. Stoney.
Lump of a lad, they said.
In he comes. Can he finish? No. He cannot.
Against the breeze there. Pushed it to the left.
So, we've got 9.660 playing one straight 6. We've gone almost 6 minutes in the second quarter. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the expert advice and low price at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
A barrel that turned into a turnover. Caulfield takes it for the Tigers. We go wide toward the beach side of the ground. I should say bay side of the ground. Don't get confused with Beach Road. Ball up on centre wing. Or near enough too. Very straight boundary line there, Stoney. Similar to the Werribee one that we have at Churnside Park. We're there next week, by the way, for Peter Jackson VFL Live. North Melbourne taking on Collingwood. High left football from Alice. Inside 50 it goes. Bouncing ball. It's slapped toward the square by Cusack. Miles was ripped off the footy. There's a chance here for the Tigers. A finish from Bolter. And into the breeze, the Tigers go bang. First goal at that end of the ground for today. 10-6-66 to one straight 6. That means we have a 10-goal game very early on in the second term on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
I'll read some names to you: Townsend, Miles, Lloyd, Bolton.
Yep.
Stengel, Manor.
Yep.
Arts.
Yep.
All those players in the forward line.
Yep.
Like,
look, I take your point, Stoney. They've got so many different options all over the ground and up forward. I mean, this is the thing. This is the thing when we've got a side, an AFL side that's at the top of the ladder in terms of Richmond. We saw it last season as well. There's off a step Akers, long ball for Sandy. It's 2-on-1, and at the back, Daniel Caulfield takes the mark for Richmond, and they're away quickly too. Ernest. There's Deadly. He's a good evening as he gets around an opponent. There we go. Had to work it in somehow.
He did.
We've made it into the middle of the ground, even though half hour he has no idea what we're talking about. The ball's in dispute here. Good tackling pressure.
Just go to Google.
Yep.
Put in Deadly Ernest, and listeners, you'll see some fantastic vision.
Yeah, he sort of presented the horror movies late at night.
Not a great looking bloke.
No, that was the whole idea. That was the stick.
It's very scary, actually.
Yeah, the idea was to be scary. Anyway, ball inside 50. It's a horror show at the moment for Sandringham, but let's see if they can get a goal as they go forward here. No, it's going to be cleared outside the 50. Tigers, the defence, haven't had a lot to do. That is incredible from Baker. He can go for a run too and a bounce. He's got outliers here. Just needs to find one. Miles will go back inside. Oh, Stengel's in a little bit of trouble here. He's brought down, and it is holding the footy. As they work it out here, the Zebras might be in a bit of trouble again. This is Nick Caulfield, who's got the ball. He goes further afield, over the top. Akers being one of the best for Sandy in this opening half. He's kick inside 50. Langlands gets hands to it, can't bring it down for Sandringham. Now they're under more pressure, little underground up, no good, and it's going to be turned over again. The Tigers will clear to the broadcast side, and they can reset here as it's Arts One of those players that Stoney talked about. I tell you what, another good mark here from Baker. Wants to go on with it. Finds Stengel, who's tucked in on the boundary line. That is beautiful. The kick to Silvestro on the outside of the boot. Found him no problems. Now the kick, he'll be kicking from just outside the 50. In fact, he won't be. He'll be going even shorter. And it means that Arts will be on the tight angle, but about 10 metres closer to goal. What does he need to do here, Stoney? Because he's got the cover of the Sandy by the Bay.
He's got to go the left-hand goalpost. The left-hand goalpost, which will take it right through the middle. So he's got to get his angles right here.
Jake Arts, 8 goals in his 9 games this season. Former Bendigo boy. His kick.
Too much left.
Yep, has gone narrow. 10-7-67, playing one straight 6. We've gone almost 10 minutes in the second quarter. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. And I think the jumping castle's up and about, Stoney.
Where? There's a whole lot of kids here wanting to play footy at half.
Oh, right. I thought there was going to be a jumping castle out here today.
Ice cream truck as well, Stoney.
Yeah.
We love that.
I'm going there at half time.
Oh, you are not.
Bring something back, please.
Stoney.
No, actually, I'm at 12 kilos lighter, Pete.
Yeah. Oh, well.
You are.
Well, very exciting.
It's good work by you.
So the Zebras are just happy to chip this one around inside defensive 50. Eventually they will work it out and escape with the footy.
Yep.
There's no 74 on my list. Kick goes down the line. Garthwaite takes the mark. Haven't seen much of Garthwaite so far today. Very awkward kicking action. We know that.
Oh.
And that was a shank.
Gee.
That was a real shank.
Good pass.
And an effective kick.
He's going to claim it.
Bolton takes the mark. Has an option out wide. That is Miles. Kick toward half forward. The target of his kick slipped over. And the pressure comes. Favorino was involved there for Sandringham. That was an interesting tackle. High contact and a free kick will go Art's way. Will it? No, umpire pointed the wrong way. It's Zilla that has the ball for the Zebras. James Zilla. Game number 6 for the season. Went toward the hot spot. Difficult ball to navigate. Zebras will escape with it. We've got a one-on-one. On the outer wing, near to Tyre Power scoreboard. Hand pass goes over the top. Now it's in the hands of Lamb. Right foot towards half forward. Kick there, just tried to set up number 57. Boundary throwing.
Oh. You're not going to the ice cream truck at half time, Stoney. I'm telling you that much.
I know where I'm going, mate.
You know exactly where you're going.
Apologies to the audience. Sandringham changed their jumpers at quarter time and it's thrown our game right off. Boundary throw in. Bit of a jumper clash in the first term with the two sides both in yellow and black. Ellis has the ball.
We think, anyway.
Around. No, he did have it.
No, he did?
Lost it for the moment. And a lot of players around that ball, so the umpire to force the ball up. Ball's heading boundary side. Townsend, good tackle. Soldo's there as well. Brewer got himself involved. Ball gets socket up towards half forward. Sequel just got beaten to the ball that time. Now Baker having a good game, Liam Baker today. Good hand pass out, Silvestro. Free kick, maybe advantage paid. Oleg Markov goes for a run, almost overran. Himself gets away from the tackle.
Get going.
He's going all the way here, Markov. Eventually goes wide by hand. Jake Hartz will be the chance to finish. No, he wanted to hand pass toward the goal square. They're messing this one up, the Tigers. Stengel, kick toward the square now, bouncing right near the line. Canellan, it's eventually forced over. After all that, just 1 point for Richmond. 10-8-68, so 1 straight 6 Tyre Power scoreboard.
So, Brandon White to bring the ball back in for Sandy. And he'll kick to himself. He'll go wide for Lamb. Finds him. Still inside defensive 50, out near the ice cream truck where Stoney's not going at half time. And the kick over the top. Finds his man. I think it's another player who's wearing another jumper. The kick's short. Lamb's got it back again. He's wearing his correct jumper. The kick going high and deep over the back. It's Caulfield. Daniel Caulfield got hands to it, trying to push it forward. And Morris sees it over the line. We'll have it thrown in. 10-8-68, playing 1 straight 6. We've gone 13.5 in the second quarter on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer. We'll go around the ground soon as well.
Yeah, one game still in action. That's between Werribee and the Northern Blues. Blues well in control in that one. We'll go to Etihad Stadium as well. Ball's forced over the line. Caulfield was near it, so it is Hawthorn 72 leading Carlton 10. That is a 62-point lead for the Hawks, and the Northern Blues 13-5-83 leading Werribee 3-11-29. That's a bit of a dirty day, that one, for the Tigers. Earlier today, North Melbourne did beat Frankston. Soldo took on Lawmount that time in the ruck. He'll have to do so again. Here it's 1 straight 6, Sandringham. Richmond 10-8-68. Tigers kicked 9-5 in the opening term. It was all one-way traffic in that first quarter. Now the Zebras do have the breeze. We go inside 50. Owens just pushed out of that one. Foot race for the ball. It's going to be Bolton. Can he keep it in? Not quite. Boundary throwing.
Half-time, we're going to hear from Josh Pruden, who was on the SEN VFL show, which is Tuesday night, 7 o'clock.
Seymour boy, Josh Pruden.
Yep. And talking about Footscray season.
Good footy up there, Stoney, the Goulburn Valley.
Yeah, I watched Jason Cole play for the Vic Country a couple of weeks ago.
Is he the best player in country footy?
Yeah, nearly would be, actually. One of the best. He had 61 possessions a couple of weeks ago.
Sorry, say that again.
61 possessions a couple of weeks ago.
So he's 64, Silvestro. He got put down after he got his hand pass out. Arts having a good quarter. Stepped away. Some foot candy, actually. He went wide looking for Markov. Is that going to stay in play for him? He gets it now. Rushed kick on the left. High and inside 50. Townsend came out of nowhere like the flash, and he took a mark. In scoring range, perhaps, but a breeze to deal with.
He was a premiership player last year, wasn't he?
Yes, at AFL level.
And
won the Liston Trophy
Liston
as well
trophy
at this level.
Yeah.
Incredible story.
Lots of them. There have been lots of them over the years, Stoney. We've
Of course,
followed
in a losing grand final in the VFL last year, Sam Lloyd won the Norm Goss medal.
He did.
It's not often you see that, but his grand final was absolutely outstanding against Port Melbourne. That game came right down to the wire, as we know. Jacob Townsend. Got way too close to the man on the mark, and it's a turnover for the Zebras. Kick out wide. No use trying to guess who that is, because he's in a different number. Over the top we go. We know that is Seacle. Has the ball for the Zebras. Front of the Tyre Power scoreboard. Down the line he goes, up towards half forward. That ball really carried with that breeze. It's tapped on, but picked up here by Naish. He was under some pressure. Now Lloyd immediately met hard by Hayden. The only goal kicker out on the ground for the Zebras. Hand pass came out. Hayden standing start toward the square. Bolter, did he get a hand on it? He was engaged in battle with Lamb. It snuck through for a point. First blemish of the day for the Zebras. 1-1-7 to 10-8-68 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. 17 gone. Second term.
So we wait for the footy to come back, or a footy to come back. Waiting there, Naish to do the kicking out duties. Hasn't had any so far. Where will he go here?
I don't know what's going on at Werribee. When I get a chance, Peter, I'm just going to go around the grounds for a moment.
You will, but the kick going outside the 50 has been marked. It's that man, Townsend again, who kicks up the line. His kick is good and nicely taken. Brewer, who kicks up towards half forward, and they've got numbers here over the back. If they can get there, Morris trying desperately to pick it up and turn the footy over, and the umpire says give it to me as the pack forms. We'll go around the grounds there. Adam, what are you telling me?
So the last 6 goals of the game between the Northern Blues and Werribee have all been kicked by the Blues. That's in the third quarter, and this is how the goal kickers went. So Joel Naylor, Jesse Palmer, Joel Naylor. That's how the last 6 goals have gone down at Avalon Airport Oval.
Do not adjust your smartphones. There's no skipping repeat here. As the kick from Sandy from half back. The kick, Garthwaite trying to get into the way. Did a good job in the end too. Just made the ball spill out, and Bolter will kick up towards centre wing. And Grew again takes the mark. Good play up, as we've talked about, on that Beach Road side of the ground. Comes in a bit shorter. Speaking of good players, as Naish finds some space. Still inside the middle of the ground. His kick up towards half forward. It's pretty hard going. Grew up, was taken off the footy. I thought with it when he wasn't in possession, but the umpire said play on. Lomans gets hands to it. The kick is going to be turned over again. It just hung out in the breeze. Now it's in dispute in the middle of the ground, and no one's going to pick up this footy. The umpire says, give it to me. It's untidy stuff. The scoring's dried up. We only had 2 goals in this quarter, 1 apiece. And we played 19 minutes in the second term. It's 68 playing 7. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. There's the ball in dispute in the middle of the ground. Naish wrapped up in the tackle, going absolutely nowhere. Owen's doing the wrapping up duties, and the umpire will throw the ball up just into attack here for Sandy. They need to just pile on some goals.
I think that sequence of goals for the Northern Blues might be a glitch in the system.
It is. I've just been told.
Yeah.
Naylor Palmer Naylor.
Yeah, that's definitely a glitch. The score's correct though, 83-29.
Rightio. As the ball spills free. Chance here for Sandringham. So we've got a couple of players here. We'll just mark them down. 56 is a different jumper number. Stoney, one of a few out
74
there.
Stoney,
Joyce has it. He's 61. He kicks up the line. And that's okay. Claverino. Right near the scoreboard on the Beach Road side of the ground. Or is it? The umpire comes in and says, out of bounds on the full or throw in. What's the call here? The call is throw-in. Right near that scoreboard. Claverino thought he had it. I thought he had it. Umpire says, throw it in. So it becomes a neutral contest. A couple of players going without the footy. Now an opportunity for Sandringham. They get some clearer up to centre half forward. Oh, a couple sport each other. Naish coming across. Did okay. Morris just trying to tap the ball on. Did well in the end. Bolter has got some time and could go for a run along centre wing. His kick is a bit flat and shallow and turned over. Seckel works it backwards, just in trying to find some players in space. There's that 74 again, Stoney. You're on this. If you get them all, we'll give you an ice cream. Noon takes the mark.
I'll be getting them all. Don't worry about that.
Didn't feel I needed to incentivise it either. The kick back to that player who goes across the ground, and now they've got some space out here. Caulfield. This is Daniel Caulfield. Handball over the top. It's slow going. Here's the player wearing 56. Up to Lamb. Lamb in on centre wing. Leading goal kicker for Sandringham so far this season. The kick is high. Oh, that was reasonably done. Now they've got some opportunity here. Hayden right near the boundary line. He just can't get the ball to sit up for him. And we'll have it thrown in.
We need Ernest to get the ball again. But
68 plays 7. 22 gone in the second quarter. Tyre Power scoreboard. The power of expert advice at Tyre Power. As the ball's tossed back in deep into attack for Sandringham. A little quick kick out of the pack. Lomans right on the last line of defence. It's going to be picked up by Bolter, whose kick still inside the 50 was good. And now they've got an opportunity as they sort of clear into some space, but it looks like it's going to be turned over again. Oh, ball came like a rocket past Brewer. Did well to get out of the way. They'll still mop up here. Here's Caulfield. This is Daniel Caulfield for Richmond. He's kicked into the middle of the ground. A hospital. Silvestro sat underneath it. Couldn't take the mark, but he's still going to come up with the footy. He just puts it forward. Now they've got a chance here. Will this quick kick come out? No. Cusack was tackled at the crucial moment. Goes back in. It's sitting underneath it. Did he get rid of it? No, but the umpire says throw it up. And so we'll have it thrown up. We'll go around the grounds in a moment too. As it spills free, Seckel just putting it on its way. Silvestro though picking it up straight down to Ballard, who kicks a long high ball. No one can take the mark. Opportunity here, plenty of numbers out the back. White for Sandringham. He's got some teammates in space, and now the kick's going to be turned over. You'd think Morris has got to pick it up off the half volley. Did okay in the end. Worked it across. Bolton, that's a good kick just to a player in space. Naish, who on the point of the square goes further afield, finds Manor right near the scoreboard on the Beach Road side. Manor cuts inboard. The kick inside 50. No one can take the mark. It goes through hands. Working there, Seckel finds Akers. Oh, Akers turned it over though. Hartz's got some space. Handball's back. Trying to find a way through. No one can. The pack forms inside 50 here for Richmond. Again, Art's brought down. The umpire says, give it to me. We'll clear things up. 10-8-68 Richmond, 1-1-7 Sandringham. 24 gone, second quarter, Tyre Power scoreboard.
3/4 time at Avalon Airport Oval, Werribee 4-13-37, trailing the Northern Blues at 13-5. 83, that's a margin of 46 points at 3/4 time. Late goal to Matt Munro to reduce that below 50. High kick toward the top of the square here for the Tigers. The scoring has completely dried up in this second term. Morris made a nuisance of himself. Then we get some help from Silvestro. What's the umpire going to say here? Crosses his arms. In the forward pocket here for the Tigers.
And Matty Munro's 50th game, boys, 50th VFL game for a Albury product who come down a couple of years ago, so well under him.
It's got one of Werribee's 4 goals.
Looks like there's a player on the way to the room, Stoney. Walked past you.
Sandringham are going to repel this ball back out of it. It kicks a bit off the side of the boot. It's wayward. It's out of bounds on the full. Tigers get it back just on the outskirts of scoring range. Probably too far out just yet. Maybe 2 kicks away from goal.
Ben
Payton comes off. Ben Payton is the man coming off.
Is the player, yes. So straight into the rooms.
Miles will kick him board. That's okay. Markov. He'll send it longer. Inside 50. Who's down there for Richmond? No one. Bouncing ball. Here's Baker. Skates one tackler. Maybe a push in there. Umpire let it go. Hand pass for Owens. 23rd man today for the Zebras. Did well to get his hand pass out. Now the Zebras work it toward the middle of Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Hayden takes the mark. Not much
50
to look at. He's going to go for a walk. Encroaching on the mark was Garthwaite.
I think it was against Sam Lloyd, actually, who went into the space, maybe.
Oh, is that protected zones? Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
So he'll be brought within scoring range here, will Jonathan Hayden.
She's not much of a 50.
He's got a long run up, though, here, because the man on the mark's only about 35 out. So no, I reckon it is about 50, Stone.
Okay.
It's just a long run up that Hayden's giving himself. Fair to say they need this. Down at the moment by 61 points, Sandringham. We're approaching half-time. Has their only goal for the day so far, Jonathan Hayden. Right foot ball is on the way. Goal umpire working to his right. They could not afford that. 1-2-8 to 10-8. 68 and even 60 points on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power.
So we've got Patrick Naish again to bring the ball back into play. Kicks to himself. Goes for a run. May have sold himself in a bit of trouble, but he gets the kick away. And it is a long ball out deep towards the boundary line. They're just paddling it forward. Manna did the hard work, but he's turned the footy over. Noon runs onto it. Did well to get through the traffic. Works it across Zilla, making himself a nuisance. Working their Lamb. Handball over the top. And consider getting it back. But this kick going high to the back. Mark, nicely done. Hands in the back, baby. No. So it's a player wearing number 57 for Sandringham, who's another of these players who's changed the jumper number. Kick the goal. 2-2-14 plays 10-8-68, 27 gone in the second quarter. The Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer. So we'll make a note of that, Stoney.
I will.
57, it's another one. Add to the list.
Bingo.
Nathan Smith
is wearing 57. So it goes from 65 to 57. Okay, I'm going with you on that.
How did you find it out, Adam?
Live scoring on the VFL website. Nathan
So they've got the numbers, but we don't.
Whoever's doing the live scoring today for this game, please have a chat to our man, Stoney. Payton's back out. He's about to run past you, Stoney.
Yes.
Keep an eye on that one for us. Back live. Here's Corey Ellis. Quick hand pass out to Lloyd. Right football. Silvestro engaged in the foot race. The ball didn't really favour him. Miles, it did for him. Picks up the ball. They're going to attack once more. Richmond inside 50. Short little pass. Very, very good. And a mark taken by Joel Cusack.
Ben Payton, a Murray Bushranger, actually.
There's a few of them out there. Ryan Garthwaite.
Yeah.
From the Bushrangers as well. This is Cusack. From Stoney.
Bo Morris.
Thank you. Just down the road. Bit of an awkward approach, and the kick just as awkward. Goes to the top of the square, didn't make the distance in the end. It spills out of play before Bacon getting anywhere near it. Boundary throwing. Tyre Power scoreboard, 10-8-68 Richmond, Sandringham 2-2-14. Tigers have only kicked 1 goal, 3 in this second term, all of those 2 goals too coming in the second term for the Zebras. Boundary throw in. Just near the goal square here, Ballard. Siren went before he could do anything with it. Half time, round 16, Trevor Barker, Beach Oval, and a big lead for the Tigers, 10-8-68 to Sandringham 2-2-14. Tyre Power scoreboard, get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power.
Right, well, the goal kickers to half time. We have 2 each for Richmond to Lloyd, Baker, and Silvestro, and singles the rest. Miles, Bolter, Ballard, Brewer, and that'll do for Richmond. For Sandy, Hayden, and Smith, we think, have 1 goal apiece. 68 plays 14, and as Adam mentioned, just 2 goals 2 for Sandringham after they left scoreless in the opening quarter, and 1 goal 3 for Richmond in the second quarter. It did dry up, Sandringham having the breeze, not able to make the most of it. Stoney, you've got a lot of work to do at half time to work out all these jumper number changes. We'll take a break. On the other side, we'll hear from Josh Pruden from earlier in the week. Footscray player talking about, well, performance last week, talking about what it's like down at the kennel at the moment, and plenty more still to come. This is Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
Your Peter Jackson VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wickham first. Craig Lowndes second.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio.
This weekend is the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation's Love the Game round, and we're all taking part.
For the players,
coaches,
and the fans.
There's heaps of reasons to love the game.
So this weekend we're celebrating footy in its purest form by taking the focus off the odds.
3/4 of our kids think that gambling is a normal part of our sport.
And they're not aware of the risks.
That doesn't sit well with us.
It isn't why we choose to be a part of this great game.
So while you're enjoying this weekend's footy,
make sure to have the talk with the kids in your life and help them understand that gambling and sport
don't have to go together.
Get excited for another big round of footy this weekend.
Cheer on your team.
And remember,
love the game, not the odds.
VRGF Melbourne.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
And back here at Trevor Barker Beach Oval, it is half time and it is a lead to Richmond. 10-8-68 to Sandringham, 2-2-14. And earlier today, it was a win for North Melbourne comfortably over Frankston. And we see down at Werribee, they're into the opening minutes. 14-5-89, the Northern Blues. Werribee 4-13-37. And in the AFL at the moment, a couple of games, one about to get underway. The West Coast Eagles and the Western Bulldogs, but it's the Hawks by 42 at three-quarter time. 79 playing 37 there. So plenty happening around the place, plenty happening around the VFL, and a couple of programs you can have a listen to throughout the week. One is on 3WBC tomorrow from 7 o'clock, the VFL Rewind, and also the Peter Jackson VFL show on SEN, 1116 SEN from 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night. And during the week, Anthony Stangetz and Jack Heverin caught up with Josh Pruden of the Footscray team and the Bulldogs. Well, tough day at Casey Fields last week. They did get over the line. They had a tough match yesterday as well, going down to Williamstown. So a couple of losses in a row for the Bulldogs, but a tough team, Casey, and a tough ground, Casey Fields as well. And Josh caught up with the team, and they started off by talking about how difficult the conditions were at Casey Fields last week.
No, it was a pretty tough contest all day. I think the numbers were up around 200 tackles for the day, so it was quite physical and quite a windy day, as you'd expect down there at Casey.
Can be a pretty windy sort of and difficult place to play at Casey Fields, can't it?
Yeah, they've had a pretty strong side for the last few years, so it's always pretty tough going down there, and the wind definitely doesn't help that.
Josh, you must have been pretty happy with the form in the second term, kicking the 6 goals to 2, but disappointed then with the third term being kept scoreless.
Yeah, I thought our second term obviously was the best of the day, and I think we tried a few things on, really tested them out. We played with 7 forwards for a little part of that, so it was quite a good quarter. And then, the third quarter, obviously they had the breeze then, and we just couldn't see the ship. We managed to kick 3 goals against it in the first quarter, but couldn't really replicate that in the third.
And yourself adjusting back to life after AFL and being a VFL player, how have you found it this season?
Really enjoying it so far. I think my role on the side basically is to gel a lot of the AFL and the VFL boys together, and I think our VFL boys are a really strong group, as you saw on the weekend. I'm not sure how many we played, somewhere at 15 or 16, so our VFL boys are quite strong, and our AFL boys actually enjoy playing VFL, which I don't know if you can say about every second side, so I think the boys are having quite a good time there.
Josh, the difference in game style is something that I'm always interested to talk to players who have spent some time at AFL level and playing in the VFL level. What are some of the things that are the same, but more importantly, some of the differences in the way the game's played?
Well, a lot of the messaging from the AFL basically filters through to the VFL, so we're trying to replicate a similar game style, but you also need to adjust it for the players that you've got. So obviously we don't have the same team every week, and we've probably had more changes than most week in, week out, but we train all pre-season with one system, so we'll try and lock that down. But as you know, there's young players, there's a lot of blokes coming in with a lot of nerves, not a lot of experience, so it's pretty hard to make sure we're all on the same page. But when we get it right, we can be as good as anyone. So you saw we beat Richmond, who were top of the ladder. We've taken it up to Casey. We've had some really strong games, and I think this weekend's going to be another testing at Williamstown.
Josh, you mentioned that experience head in that VFL team, along with Angus Monfries, your other co-captain. Have you found players coming up to you, whether it be the younger AFL players or the new players on the VFL list, to try and utilise some of your experience and get some advice?
Yeah, well, we are quite young, I guess.
Yeah.
Being a co-captain at 23 years old in a VFL squad, I'm looked at as one of the experienced boys, and in a lot of the meetings they turn to me for some advice. But I think that's sort of a strength in our group, that we're all sort of a similar age group, and there's plenty of banter that goes around with there. And as we said before, the link between the VFL and the AFL boys is pretty strong. I think we've got a good culture there, so yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Have you enjoyed that so far, the captaincy element to the role?
Yeah, I have. I don't enjoy the media side of it so much. I'm a bit nervous for this sort of stuff.
So you want us to hang up, is that what you're saying?
Well, I thought that's why you got Angus Monfries in. I should be used to this sort of stuff. But yeah, it's been good. As we said before, young team, so it's nice to lead a bunch of blokes that respect you for how long you've spent on an AFL list, and then some of the work that you've done in the VFL over the past few years. So it's been pretty fun.
Josh, we've had a couple of co-captains on the program. It seems to be the done thing now. We always like to find out how you work out who's tossing the coin out in the middle, whose job it is, who gets to do the pre-game motivational speech, and who gets to lead. How do you do it down at Footscray?
Well, the pre-game speech we've done 1 for 1, so I'll do it one week and Gussie does it the next, but the coin toss, unfortunately, is on my shoulders, and I've lost almost every one of them. I actually can't remember one I've won.
You've got one job, Josh.
It's a 50-50 chance, they reckon.
Yeah. So they say.
Using a bloody double-sided coin.
A player that you've got a good chance to have a look at various stages this year's Tim English. For a lot of Bulldogs supporters who are listening tonight, you know him pretty well and you know some of his capabilities. Does he just do some things from time to time where you think there's going to come a point where that skinny little frame of his is going to fill out and it's all going to start to make sense and he's going to make a real wave at AFL level?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have too many 206 centimetre guys. I think he's about that high. Moving the way he does and kicking in the way he does, there's been a lot of comparisons to Cox of the past, but Cox is an absolute freak. But yeah, once Timmy fills that body out, he's going to make a massive impact, I think. Just his physical attributes, and he trains pretty hard as well, so there's a good combination there.
And Josh, you look at the other end of the spectrum at Footscray, and a player like Will Hayes, he's probably down the smaller end of the scale, but he's having a fantastic season for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, not just this season. He had a pretty good one last year as well, but yeah, he's sort of one of our leading ball winners. He must be averaging the most disposals in our squad, and uses it quite well. He can run. He's a powerful runner, so yeah, I think he's having another stellar season, and I think he's probably enjoying himself more than anyone out there at the moment.
Josh Pruden from the Dogs is chatting to us here on the Peter Jackson VFL show. Tell us how you've, I guess at the start of the year, how you approach the year, because obviously living the dream of playing AFL is what all youngsters aspire to do. Unfortunately for you, mostly for injury reasons, that opportunity was taken away from you, but it's far from done. How did you have to, I guess, almost re-motivate yourself or set yourself some different goals coming into this season?
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. Unfortunately, in the AFL, we didn't make finals, and we got knocked out of the VFL finals as well. So I had a bit of a break there, and we had our best and fairest, like a small end-of-season trip where I did a bit of Europe, and the day I got back from Europe, I had a shoulder reconstruction, so I was well behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
And still wasn't really sure what I wanted to do once I got back from Europe, and it was halfway through that shoulder reco. So I sort of came down here, and obviously knowing a lot of the boys and having such a good rapport with most of the coaches and stuff, it was a pretty easy decision in the end. I would have liked to have probably played a few more games here, obviously, in the past, but still want to challenge myself. I like the idea of getting the most out of yourself, and I don't think I have quite yet with the body, but as I said, with the relationship with the boys, it's a pretty easy decision in the end.
And Josh, it's TV game time this weekend, taking on the local rivals in Williamstown, who are going to be the boys from Footscray that are got their hairdressing appointment on Friday night, or visits to the tanning salon.
Yeah, TV game always means haircut week for these boys. And there's always a punishment. Anyone who gets a haircut this week will get some sort of financial sanction, I think. It'll go towards the end of season trip at some point.
So we get some sort of insight into what happens ahead of the TV games there from Josh Pruden, joining Anthony Stangetz and Jack Heverin on the SEN VFL Hour, Peter Jackson VFL Hour, from 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights on 11:16 SEN. Here, it's 10:68 Richmond, Sandringham 2-14. Adam, while we've got the chance, let's go around the grounds. It's still half-time here, but let's go around the grounds and see how things are playing out down at Werribee, where it looks like the Blues are doing it comfortably in the final quarter.
Although 3 goals in a row, it seems, for Werribee inside the last quarter. The margin is still 39 points. Werribee 6-15-51, Northern Blues 14-6-90, but Dane McFarlane has the 2 most recent goals in that one, and we'll also have one for Michael Sotomarco. He's kicked a couple today as well. See the current skipper? I know he's still the skipper of Werribee, so he's a good player at VFL level, but it looks like it's going to be the Northern Blues getting what would probably be a much needed win. Only their third of the season coming up.
Go on, talk about your team. Go on.
It is inside the last quarter. Hawthorn 80, Carlton 37. The Bulldogs are now taking on the West Coast Eagles as well at Optus Stadium. Only 3 minutes in, 2 early goals for the Western Bulldogs in that one. 11-14 80, I should say. Hawthorn, Carlton 5-7-37. Halfway into the final term at Etihad Stadium.
As you mentioned, next week our match for broadcast as the umpires make their way back out. Avalon Airport Oval for North Melbourne and Collingwood. The other matches, Richmond taking on Werribee at Swinburne Centre. That's the Swinburne Centre. At Icon Park, the Northern Blues taking on Frankston. Sandringham face the Box Hill Hawks at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. That's the TV game, and our match will be North Melbourne and Collingwood. And then when Williamstown, Casey, Footscray, Geelong, Coburg, Port Melbourne, Essendon all have the bye. Half time here, yes.
There's a big O Day coming up at Swinburne, I hear, as well.
Yes, the open day next Sunday while you're listening to Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Who am I with? Anthony
Stangerts will be back.
Look forward to that.
Yes, double header too with the Swiss VFL women's competition too as the match beforehand too. So looking forward to a double header there at Avalon Airport Oval. But yes, open day next week at Swinburne next Sunday. Anyway, it is 10-8-68 Richmond, Sandringham 2-2-14, a break, second half next, and Stoney has done a power of work. He deserves an ice cream because he has. All the jumper numbers have changed. We'll give you those on the other side of the break in the second half next on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any two suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
It's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wickup first, Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Your Peter Jackson VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018. The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved. Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer.
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au.
And upgrade to digital.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
And we're back, getting ready for the second half here at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Teams are in position. 10-8-68 Richmond, Sandringham 2-2-14. Jumper number changes in a moment, but here's Adam Sarakoglu to see whether Sandringham can turn this around.
It's a 9-goal game here at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. It's Longer taking on Soldo in the ruck to start this second half. Ball skews out toward the wing. Lamb's there. He'll receive the ball now, Lamb. Quick hands off to Akers. Went wide. Now we go inside 50. Canellan, high left footer toward the square. Now the back is a chance for the Zebras, and they kick an early goal to start this second half. Is it Claverino?
Well, we might
jumper changes.
Yeah, we might run through the jumper number changes
Freeman,
while we've got the opportunity.
It
is Freeman. Right, so let's go through them, because Nathan Freeman, well, good opportune time. 74 he's wearing. Oscar Claverino's wearing 75. Mike Cook wearing 40. Hayden McLean wearing 48. Kate Ainsworth moves from 2 to 56. Dylan Weikart moves from 1 to 46. Nathan Smith, number 57, so he goes from 65 to 57. And Billy Longer, number 60, as opposed to 69. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jumper number changes. So the Tigers want to respond pretty quickly. The ball going long inside the 50, off hands, working their Joyce. It's wrapped up in the tackle. Good tackling pressure from the Tigers, Ben Miller. And the umpire will throw the ball up deep into attack for Richmond.
Still a
3-4 goal breeze here.
Granite Grounds, Hawks by 48 points. Scores level between West Coast and Western Bulldogs.
Lamb was trying to clear the area, but he kicked it straight to Liam Baker, who'll line up and have a shot from 35 metres out, pretty much directly in front.
He's shown a bit too, though, this young fella.
He has.
A bit of speed and a bit of grunt.
Oh, the worst of possible starts here for Sandringham, even though they've got the goal on the board. They do not want to let Richmond get on a roll again. In he comes. The kick is a goal, and he does make them pay. Baker's got 3 for this afternoon, and they've got their 11th. 11-8-74 plays 3-2-20 as we are 2 minutes into this third quarter on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
Goal number 11 for today for the Tigers. Now 3 for Liam Baker, leading goal kicker out on the grounds. 2 for Tom Silvestro and Sam Lloyd as well. Now we're all as part of a 9-goal opening term. Margin back to 54 as it was at half-time. Umpire puts it down, back in the middle. Longer and Soldo once more. Stengel engaged in battle with Longer, who went to ground. Ball eventually spills out. Akers just got beaten to the ball that time. Now Alice comes in to pick it up and snatch it for Richmond. Soldo had to get his kick out. He was under some pressure. Miles tried to set up Lloyd, but it runs out of play. Boundary throw in. Just on the outskirts of 50 for the Tigers, up by 9 goals. It's a big lead for the Northern Blues. 15-6, 96 to Werribee, 8-15, 63. That's into time on final term Avalon Airport Oval, where we'll be next week for Peter Jackson VFL Live between North Melbourne and Collingwood. Lloyd, high right football, inside 50. Cusack's underneath. Ball fisted away from him by Goddard. Ballard with the tackle here. Just pinballing around 50. Naish got his hand pass out. High ball from Miles. Wind might carry it all the way. Marked on the line. And there will be a shot on goal, but a tough angle to deal with here. Let's see what Miller can do.
That was a great grab.
Whether you just, you may as well go for the shot. I mean, that far in front.
Left foot.
Yep. As well.
Breeze has seemingly picked up as well. Here's the banana into the post.
It's very slowly, Adam, the breeze. It's all like drops, comes again, drops away. So it is a 4-goal breeze.
Tyre Power scoreboard 11-9-75 to 3-2-20. Here's Peter McCarter.
Oh, gee, they're making a meal of this, Sandy. Oh, goodness. But they're still alive. Now, ball picked up here. Claverino gets the ball deeper. Canellan to run onto it. Oh, he's double teamed though. Markov picked the ball up for the Tigers. Now they've got some space and time. Lamb, good tackling pressure. The ball out of bounds on the full. That's better. Claverino has it again, wearing 75 with the jumper number change that occurred at quarter time. Now some runners alongside. Freeman was one of those. There's a long ball coming in. And Helen just worked off the footy, trying to get some space there as Zilla. And it's over the line, right near that magnificent Sandy by the Bay facility. Looking pristine. Has been for a number of years. Remember when we first started, Stoney, we were broadcasting out of there.
We were on the glass, Pierre.
We were behind glass, and we were told we had to be quiet.
Right, yeah.
Our pre-matches used to be an hour, and we had to whisper for 45 minutes of it. I've never been quieter. There's a quick kick out of the pack. A high ball by Ainsworth up to the top of the goal square. No one can take the mark. Lloyd's got to get it for the Tigers. Can't do so. Now Morris coming in just to wrap the footy up, and the umpire says, give it to me. And we'll throw it up deep into attack here for the Zebras. Things slightly better for the Zebs. Moments, bottom of the pack. Not much happening here. Freeman trying to extract it for Sandringham. And again, we'll have it thrown up. I I've got one more in me, Adam, then it's all yours as the ball's tossed back up. Soldo going back. Ball into the path of Morris. Will he decide to pick it up? He does. Releases, not very far, but has another go, just pushing it forward. Eventually the ball turned over. Langlands has to work it back. Off a step, Akers, kicking inside 50 into the pocket. Bounces in front of a couple of players. Now an opportunity. Ball partially smothered. Picked up there by Caulfield. That's Daniel Caulfield. And now they've got some space and they've got some time here, the Tigers. The kick going long from Bolton. Clean bowls the initial pack. There's no one back there for the Tigers. Plenty of time as they work it around. Claverino puts it into centre half back, and the mark's being taken by Nick Caulfield.
Just behind true centre half back. He's got long as short. Wants to go a little further than that for Goddard. Hugh Goddard gets around the initial tackler in Miller. The kick holds up in that breeze. Stoney, that ball held up a lot in the breeze. It was an easy mark in the end for Soldo. Thank you, Stoney. He agrees. Goes inboard. Townsend.
Too busy eating an ice cream.
Fairy floss.
Bolt. Noah Bolter, left half back.
I still remember that day at Whitten Oval. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Inside 50 we go. Ball just slipped through the hands of Arts. This is Owens. Gets his hand pass out. We'll get the 1-2 Owens. No, the hand pass went further than that. Akers pushed out of it by Arts. Right in front of you, Stoney.
Yep.
That day at Whitten Oval where it was about 5 degrees, blowing an absolute gale, and we spent about half an hour trying to work out why the ice cream van was still open. Why anyone in their right mind would want an ice cream in the middle of winter at Whitten Oval. And we were just counting the people. And I think, Stoney, you were one of them, weren't you?
I was actually.
It's a 4-goal breeze on a still day there at Whitten Oval.
Yes.
Morris takes the mark, half back. There's a lot of grounds like that in the Peter Jackson VFL. Casey, Williamstown, there's a lot of great grounds with all different characteristics. We go towards half forward. Bolton's kick. Clean bowls everyone out the back. Joyce gets his hand pass off, and Goddard on the left actually found a teammate with that kick. It was effective, and the mark was taken by Brandon White. He's had a lot of the kicking in duties today. Goes back toward the goal square. Goddard. Tried to go over the top, straight to his opponent. Miller, underground ball, bouncing, goal for Cusack. 12-9-81, playing 3-2-20 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. We've played 8.5 in the third term on Peter Jackson VFL.
I hate to say it, Stoney, but I think any potential finals aspirations for the home team evaporating.
Yeah, it's just you can't make those errors like against the Breeze. I mean, there's a 5-goal Breeze, and just the pressure that the Richmond forwards put on the defence then, and turn the ball over and got a goal. But Richmond are a good side. They're
well drilled, aren't they?
They are. I mean, they're like their pressure around the footy with the opposition is first class. I mean, it's probably the best side we've seen in a long time in the VFL as an AFL side. It's a good side, good to see.
And you've got blokes in here who are trying to find ways to get into the senior side. It is really, really tough to be able to do that.
It is very tough.
Ball back in the middle. A change in the ruck with Ben Miller taking the ruck duties for Richmond. Now a high ball, a long ball. The wind carries it a long distance. No one can take the mark. Ball on the deck. The umpire will call a stop to this deep into attack. As we see Richmond just fully in control of this one.
Good supporter base too here. It's like a really good crowd this afternoon.
There is.
Really good crowd.
David Canizzo and the team doing a really good job as a flying shot there by Stengel misses. 12-10-82 Richmond, 3-2-20 Sandringham, 10 gone third quarter. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. Proudly sponsoring our scoreboard right through till the end of the season.
Glad to have Tyre Power on board. 27-point lead for Northern Blues.
More announcements on our coverage to come in coming weeks. Exciting stuff happening.
Far away from finals, of course, in the Peter Jackson VFL. And as Stoney said pre-game, up to 10 teams potentially in the premiership conversation. That is a wonderful effort for everyone involved in the VFL this late into the season. It's on centre wing, broadcast side. Owens gets his hand pass off to Akers, having a good game. Down the line he goes, that's okay. Nice little pass for Canellan. Trainers out on the ground. Where are they going?
Longer.
Billy Longer. He's been asked to come off the ground. We're in the shades of sunny by the bay. High contact. Free kick. Going Sandringham's way. Deep inside, forward 50.
There's another player walking off the ground at the moment. Or now jogging off the ground.
Smith who's got the ball, by the way, Adam. As Kate Ainsworth comes onto the ground.
Has 9 goals to his name. Goalless so far today.
Akers just run off the ground.
Can reduce the margin down to 56 points.
He's got one, Smith. He was that player that we couldn't find in the second quarter.
I forgot to mark that one on my sheet. For number 2 then. For number 11 of the season, the kick. It was a powerful kick across the face. Really jumped for the ball from Lamb. No mark was taken. It's tucked away in that pocket. Flying shot on goal off the side of the boot. Lands out of bounds on the full. So the Tigers will get it back next to the behind post. 12-10-82 to 3-2-20 on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
And it's your man, Ernest. He's got the ball in the back pocket.
He's very deadly.
I thought it was dirtier.
That's the ball. As the kick goes long. It's on 50. Oh, the sting's gone out of this one. That's why we can have a bit of fun with it. Miller has it into the square. Richmond setting this up as Lloyd takes the mark. They set it up in the opening half. Put the foot down. As Stoney just regresses back to his childhood just temporarily as Lloyd kicking inside 50. Clean bowls everyone. It keeps bouncing though. They should rush it through. They do. On the line, Stengel was dangerously lurking. And through for another behind. 12-11-83 plays 3-2-20. We've gone 13 minutes in the third quarter. Well, at least you've learned something today, Adam.
Always do on Peter Jackson VFL Live. So White to himself and then short to Goddard.
On the Tyre Power scoreboard, of course.
Not far away from our broadcast position here. It is an awkward one here at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Good view though. White's kick smothered off the boot by Bolton, but still managed to find the teammate. And as Owens goes back by hand, Zebra's trying to work this out. Good pressure from Caulfield. Ball's just pinballing around here at the moment. No clear possession available. Ballard wrapped up by Nunes, might not have it. Morris was involved. The tackle coming from Seacle. Ball up. 60 out from the Richmond goal.
How lucky is Richmond to have a captain like Stephen Morris? Just plays hard. Just a really good leader. Good to see.
And the loyalty to the club as well.
Correct.
You lose your spot on the AFL list and decide to stick around as the VFL captain. That's loyalty you almost can't buy. Inside 50 here for the Tigers. And pass comes out. Good pressure from Brewer. Boundary throw in.
The thing is, Stoney, though, that comes back to culture.
Yep.
You know, the culture's not right, you don't stick around. But you love the culture, you love being inside the joint, you want to stay. That's a perfect option.
Yeah, a bit of history here with the family, so it's a good result.
So if Claverino's in 75, who's in 40 for the Sandy side? A bit confused. Stengel, bouncing goal. 13-11-89 to 3-2-20 on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
Mike Cook's in 40.
Mike Cook, thank you. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer. Welcoming Tyre Power to Peter Jackson VFL Live for the rest of season 2018.
Well, they just keep going on with it, Stoney, and this has got blowout written all over it now, doesn't it? It really does.
Let's talk about the character also of Sandy, what they want to get out of the last quarter and a half, because they know that obviously finals are gone, so they want to say, okay, let's try to show some character, I reckon.
Ultra confusing, by the way, when you give number 40 to a different player. It just makes it all that much harder.
Blues win by 27 at Avalon Airport Oval. We'll get a final score for you in just a moment. Earlier a win for North Melbourne over Frankston. Soldo back into the ruck, but he's opposite number, taking it out of the contest, but it's been turned over as Sandringham were looking to go forward. Well, let's see what Sandy can get out of this. Seckle front position, had to come in from the side. Did well, Ellis was coming the other way. Ball still in dispute here in the middle of the ground. Player almost had his head taken off for Sandringham. Still managed to get the kick away, and they've got some run too. Ball working here, Hayden. Been great today, runs to 48. It's a high ball, 2-on-1 contest. It falls to the back. Plenty of numbers there for the Tigers. Got to be clean though, turnover. Just got to get boot on ball. Oh, gosh. Langland's had it on the boot. He had the opportunity, he had a little bit more time. He put it through for a behind. 3-3-21, playing 13-11-89. Played 16 minutes, third quarter. Tyre Power scoreboard as this kick comes out quickly. And Daniel Caulfield has it for Richmond and will take 50 metres for his trouble.
That gives us a chance to go around the grounds. Final scores, Avalon Airport Oval, Northern Blues 15-8-98. Defeating Werribee 9-17-71.
Who are the culprits, the goal kickers in that game?
The kick goes short. We'll come back to that in a moment because they're going forward. Townsend's kick up and over the top. It's gone too far for Ballard and it's over the line. Back to you, Adam.
Going to have to hold off on that one, Stoney.
Right,
get some confirmed numbers later.
Okay.
I think Stoney's more concerned about who kicked the behinds for Werribee.
Correct.
9-17 for the day.
At home.
Live ladder, mind you. Richmond's currently on top of the ladder.
Yep.
12-2, percentage of 182.
As Arts weaves through a couple. That's the way to finish it. In fact, it's Woods who's kicked it. Woods kicked his first. That'd be 57s and 58s mixed up. And that's another one for the Tigers. They just keep powering along here with the breeze. 14 goals, 11. 95 plays 3-3-21. 17 gone in this third quarter. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
So Richmond have kicked how many this quarter and how many Sandy kicked?
Richmond
four goals to one, Stone.
Yep, 4-1.
Okay. Round the grounds, Eagles by 21 points over the Western Bulldogs Optus Stadium, and the Hawks by 61 over Carlton. We are just less than an hour away from Port Adelaide taking on GWS. That's an interesting matchup between two non-Victorian sides. As the Tigers going to attack once more. Cusack making a good impression today, almost able to take a mark against Goddard. Goddard did well just to hold him off from being able to get both hands on it. High snap on goal, another chance at a goal for Richmond. It goes through.
Oh,
Jake Hartz kicks another one.
That time he kicked it. 57 and 58. There you go, kicking the consecutive goals.
Good young Jake Arks, former Bendigo Pioneer and
Bendigo Bomber.
And a Bendigo Bomber.
Or Bendigo Gold.
Bendigo Gold, yeah. So good to see him. He's a good VFL player, young Arts. He's part of this team, and him along with Sean Matter, it's good, some good recruits.
Becomes the 11th goal kicker out on the ground today for the Tigers. They've got 13 AFL players out there. Sandringham have 11 St Kilda listed players out there today.
Powering along. There's ball back in the middle. Longer just notionally getting the touchdown. They've had a good go of the centre. Bounces as Nick Caulfield goes around the body for Sandringham. Heads out into the path there of Hayden, who does well to get around his opponent and kicks a long ball over the head there of Cannell and couldn't pick it up. Here's the other Caulfield. It's Daniel Caulfield who kicks a long ball back to Soldo. In the middle of the ground they go, and they've got options. Bolton's the player. He kicks up to Lloyd. Lloyd between centre and half forward. Right near Mark Stone on the beach side of the ground. Just held up by Joyce. His kick. Oh, finding the big man. Soldo went through his hands though. Turnover. Dangerous though because there's a fumble down here for Sandringham. They're under siege
Could be
again.
in trouble here. Gone.
Gone.
Pull the ball back in.
Yeah, brought the ball back in.
And
fumble,
50 metres.
everything. You
Oh,
wanted
is he
it there.
No, geez, he's gone the wrong way then, the umpire.
It was Ainsworth at the bottom of the pack, and he was the one who gave away the free kick. And 50 metres is going the way of the Tigers. Now, who's got the ball?
Corey Ellis has it at the moment.
The big man, I think, is it?
It's Soldo who's going to get it. Right, so the big man's got it. Confusion resolved. Top of the goal square. Ivan Soldo hadn't kicked a goal today. Now he has. First for the afternoon. 16-11-107 Richmond. Sandringham 3-3-21. 20 and a half gone. Third quarter. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. I'm glad we could resolve that in the end, Stoney.
Yeah, Ivan Soldo, big man, another big unit, and he went
204 centimetres.
204.
204.
Geez, they're building big, don't they, these days?
Not like back in your day, Stoney.
No, 6'2" is a ruckman nowadays. About 200 centimetres now is the average height.
Yep.
But no, he's a good player. He gets better with age and good maturity and playing some good VFL footy.
So into time on, third term back in the middle. Soldo won it down, double-handed that time to Townsend, who got brought down, holding the ball in fact. And
well called.
A free kick to go Sandringham's way. Sequel receives the handball from Longer. Another rare inside 50 for the Zebras. Ball held up in the air a long time. Morris lost it. Two tacklers on him. One of them Lormet sent a ball up just inside 50. There's
already started singing the song. How are they going?
Apparently singing here at Trevor Barker Beach Oval.
In child form, of course.
Yep. So a chance here for the Zebras to at least penetrate 50. Kick toward the pocket and a very good mark taken by Hayden.
Been one of the best today, Stoney, for Sandringham.
Yeah, I like him as a player. Watched him play here a couple of times this year, and certainly shows a lot and loves a goal. So it's good to see him.
He's got 15 for the season, including one today. Kicked one against Geelong last week. Had a few shots on goal today. Tough angle to deal with here, looking directly into the sun. Kicks on the way now to reduce the margin to 80. Kicks it.
Good kick.
Yeah, good kick.
Great kick.
4-3, 27 to 16-11, 107, 22 gone in this third term. We have a final score. That's a Tyre Power scoreboard, by the way. Final score, Hawthorn 18-16, 124, defeating Carlton 7-10-52. 72 points. My maths isn't great. 72 points, I think, for the Hawks there.
Yep, now you'll be smiling on the way home.
Earlier today in the VFL, North Melbourne and the Northern Blues, your winners. Looks like Tigers are on their way to not only winning today, but getting that top spot on the ladder.
Bit of percentage here too, I reckon.
Yep, live ladder, they are on top.
I'll give you their run home in a sec as well. As the ball back in the middle. Longer did well to make up some ground there in the contest. Cleared off the side of the boot from Caulfield. That's Sandringham's Caulfield. Into a dangerous position though, still in the middle of the ground. It's eventually released Akers. Kick partially smothered, dribbling forward towards the boundary line on centre wing. And it's been handballed over. The umpire says that is deliberate. And it will be a free kick going the way of the Tigers. So nothing going right here for the Zebras today. And it means that Richmond can go back inside 50 again. A bit of candy being sold, and now a kick going high and long and deep and off hands and handballed into the path of goal. Oh, a couple sport each other. Ballard came across his player. The kick's gone defensive for Sandringham, and it's just pitched inside the boundary line.
That was soccer style, just clearing the area and just conceding the corner. That's what that was.
It's only going for a little bit of a walk up the
Into
boundary
the-
line
into
out
the
there.
sun.
He's decided that he's just freezing out there, and he's just moving away from the benches where he's positioned.
Kick a goal, son.
As he works here, Ballard, handball came out. The kick was smothered though. Good desperate play here for the Zebras, but it may only be temporary as Miles picked up the ball. He gets it back again, just hurls it on the boot. A high one inside 50, and it's going to be marked. Defensively for the Zebras. Nicely worked out. Goddard been good today. One of the better players for Sandringham. As the ball makes its way just outside the 50, there's a rip jumper. Oh goodness, there's going to be another jumper number change coming up. Who is it that these jumper rips? We'll come back to that in a moment because there's a free kick to Garthwaite here for Richmond. Goes back to Nate. Just see who that player is. We'll come back to it. Naish. Across the ground to good evening. Deadly Ernest. finds Ballard. On centre wing. Oh, delirious. Centre wing on the beach side as the kick goes high and long. Inside 50. Oh, almost cleared the pack. It did in the end. Oh, yes!
Oh, there's a goal.
How is that? Jake Arts. Side angle. Made absolutely no mistake. And that's what happens when you have confidence. What a pick up and a great goal. That one might slide its way into the top 5 moments of the week.
Anthony, listening?
Mark that one down. The Yeezys just called you, Stody.
Yes.
And they have
It's actually my mother.
4-3-27.
Say hello to Mrs. Stone for us there, Stone.
We'll get the updated Richmond score in a moment. 26 minutes gone. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power as they move their way along. 17-11, 113 to 4-3-27. 26 minutes gone. That was a bit of razzle-dazzle from Jakey Arts.
Interesting first quarter at Optus Stadium. I reckon the Dogs had the first 2 goals of the game. Then West Coast went bang 6 times. Quarter time, 6-4-40 to 2-2-14. Only other live game taking place either in the AFL or the VFL. This is the last game of round 16. The Tigers reclaim the footy at half-back. Lloyd picked it off, went wide, found Ballard, kept on running. Ballard tackled as he kicked, got it inside 50. Goddard kept it in front of him. Then the pressure came, Soldo was bowled over. Eventually it does get picked up, but there's a lot of players around this ball and it's not coming out. Finally it trickles toward the goal square. Stengel, hand pass, Ballard fumble.
He's in the Arts pocket.
It's going to stay there, is it? Owens eventually extracted it, got it to a teammate. Weikart cleared it out. It's coming back in. Mark's taken out here by Caulfield. Concedes ground all the way back to his skipper. Morris in front of the centre circles. Every player in front of him on the ground. Ball carried all the way. High right foot snap from Gruar.
Is in.
Goal.
Goal. It's a goal.
Yet another goal for the Tigers.
Hello.
Keep an eye on that, Peter.
Yep.
Scoreboard. 17-11, 113 to 4-3-27.
You find that's 18-11, 119, Adam.
Hasn't been ticked over yet. There you go. 18-11, 119 to 4-3-27. Type Power scoreboard.
Scuffle just clears away. Frustration coming in for the Sandringham players because that's just off a step with the breeze, Tony. Simple as that.
Get the ball high here and she's going to travel right through the middle.
Seen time after time after time.
Over and over and over.
And over, end over end over end. 28 minutes gone in this third quarter. Oh, there's
probably the loosest edition of Peter Jackson VFL Live of the year, I think.
A few picnic blankets being packed up as well. Stoney's just wander off. He's like a lizard. He's just gone to find somewhere a touch warmer. Tell you about a touch warmer. It was 41 in Abu Dhabi during the week.
Is that all?
Yeah, is that all? Yeah. Nick Caulfield at the bottom of this pack will have the ball thrown up again. Off hands. Now the long ball. Lloyd going high. This is going to be marked almost through the hands. Cusack had a good go at it. Now the mopping up continues for Sandringham as they leave the 50. The kick into the path of Langland. He's under pressure as Akers, safe hands, works his way through. Got the handball receive. And now it's just being paddled forward longer. Just hurls it on the boot. And Garthwaite, good contest, did well in the end. Just trying to get the ball away from McLean. It's near the boundary line. It goes over. We'll have it thrown in.
Wind's clearly picking up, Stoney.
It's Ray Cannellan, I think, the player that has his jumper ripped, by the way.
Where is it, mate? Whereabouts are we looking at?
He's running down now inside the 50. And it is. It's Ray Cannellan. Ray, you're going to have to stick with it, mate, because we ain't changing your jumper again. I don't think there's any left. Seckle got the handball received. Handball over the top into the path of Akers. Trying to find some way through. Excellent again from Bolton. Just got through the traffic, then just hurled the ball on the boot. Joyce, he got to do the mopping up, but trying to find some way through. He did well, was Brewer. Eventually it was turned over and the Zebras now have some space. Seckle worked it back out to Noon along the boundary. The kick goes in short and the kick is okay. Akers has got it again. Can go for a run. He's kicked right near the boundary line, and Canellan and Owens, it goes over their heads. It's out of bounds on the full. It's going to be turned over. Richmond free kick. Half back, 30 gone, 119 plays 27. Tyre Power scoreboard, Tigers leading.
Down we're at sunny Bida Bay on a sunny Sunday afternoon at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. On the wing here, Lloyd, one way and the other, throws it onto the left, kick in hope, gains some good territory in front of Stoney. Foot race for it between Canellan and Grewer. Grewer did well to win it, tried to get a handball back to Baker. Now Noon, he gets put down by Townsend. Baker, hand pass out, now Grewer outside of the right boot. Everything going right for the Tigers, but not that time. It was across the face and a minus score. Quite a few players in that contest, slow to get up. As we approach three-quarter time, I'll get you a score on the Tyre Power scoreboard in a moment.
It's Lamb. Oh, kicking across the defensive goal square. Claverino goes in short. Lamb's going to provide the option. It's ignored over the top outside 50. That's okay. Oh, Freeman wanted to go on with the handball, but he just stood in the same spot. Then he would try to get across to Noon, who's been worried off the footy. And again, the Tigers have it. Again, they work their way around. This is Townsend. Handball across. Well, Bolton hasn't kicked one today, and he's not going to kick one here. He goes in short. Grewer got hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Joyce under pressure. Handball across to White. Oh, they've turned it over. Silvestro, quick kick out of the pack. Goes across the face. Seckel takes the defensive mark for the Zebras. Last line of defence. 120 plays 27. Now the advance is coming. There's the kick going up towards Garthwaite.
Be careful over your left shoulder, Stoney.
Working their manner, trying to put the ball into a dangerous position, but plenty of numbers. Seckel again. Can go for a run for Sandringham. Gets the handball across. He's going to get the handball receive again. And put the handball across again. Did well. First, second, third efforts. It's Smith who he's working with. But the ball's being turned over. The kick going up the line. What's Stoney got to be careful of? As he's
just getting some advice over his left shoulder.
Kicking long. Noon coming in to do the mopping up again for Sandringham. Player put down behind play too for Sandy. Keep an eye on that there, Adam, as Noon again picks it up. Handball across to Lamb. Lamb's kick going up the line. And it's found Zilla. Backward of centre. Beach Road, side of the ground. Tries to square it up, looking for longer. Off hands. No one could take the mark. And now an opportunity is the kick going inside 50, and that's a good mark. And it is that man Canellan who's got it. So Ray Canellan, who's kicked 13 goals this season in his 12 games, will line up and have a shot. And he'll kick from about 45 outs. Into the breeze. What does he need to do here, Stoney? 32, almost 33 minutes in.
Kick to the left-hand goal post.
The kick is high. It hasn't got the distance. It's off hands, rush through. 4-4-28 Sandringham. 18-12-1-20 Richmond. 33 minutes gone on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Big ball in here.
It's a very long quarter, this one. Now, Cook, he was the man down before for Sandringham. He's recovered. Kick down the line, straight down the throat of Bolton, having a good game today. The switching ball for Silvestro, that's cut off, and Zebras inside 50 once more, and a good mark taken at the goal square. The question is it Billy Longer down there?
I think it is.
He the man that wanted to play on after the mark, but he's going to now settle in and try and have a shot here for the Zebras.
It's not.
It's not. There you go. Is it?
It's McLean.
It's very similar.
Well, he tried to, he just sort of shaped as if he was going to give the handball away, but then stopped. So he didn't go off the mark, so that's why it's been called that way.
7 goals for the season for Hayden McLean. Comes in and hooks it badly.
Oh, boy.
4-5-29 playing 18-12-120. A very, very long third term. It's now 34 minutes in.
You know what that means, Stoney? You know what that means. No post-match. We're out of here.
What time we have to get out?
4:45. Or whenever the match finishes. So, better be a quick interview tonight, I'm tipping. Because there's the three-quarter time siren. And we're getting back underway at 4:10. Well, we'll see how this final term plays out. But it is 18-12. 120 for Richmond. And Sandringham, they're 4-5-29 at three-quarter time. 8 goals, 4 in that quarter for the Tigers. And Sandy could put on 2 goals, 3. And it's almost at that 100-point margin. Let's go through the goal kickers to three-quarter time. 3 goals to Liam Baker, 2 to Sam Lloyd, Blake Brewer, Jake Arts and Tom Silvestro. And for singles there, Miles, Bolter, Stengel, Soldo, Ballard, Wood and Cusack. And for Sandringham, 2 to Jonathan Hayden and singles to Freeman and Nathan Smith. Big lead here for Richmond at three-quarter time. We'll take a break. We'll get inside the huddles with Stoney and bring you all the final quarter action that's coming up next right here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved.
But it's your job. We'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL.
This weekend is the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation's Love the Game round, and we're all taking part.
For the players,
coaches and the fans.
There's heaps of reasons to love the game.
So this weekend we're celebrating footy in its purest form by taking the focus off the odds.
3/4 of our kids think that gambling is a normal part of our sport.
And they're not aware of the risks.
That doesn't sit well with us.
It isn't why we choose to be a part of this great game.
So while enjoying this weekend's footy,
Make sure to have the talk with the kids in your life and help them understand that gambling and sport
don't have to go together.
Get excited for another big round of footy this weekend.
Cheer on your team.
And remember,
love the game, not the odds.
It's three-quarter time. Music pumping out. Richmond 18-12-120. Sandringham 4-5-29. Earlier today it was a convincing win for North Melbourne over Frankston. Have you got that final score there, Adam?
I can bring it up for you.
Well, let's do the Northern Blues
first.
I'll
give you that one. 15-8-98 Northern Blues defeating Werribee 9-17-71. Let's go to Sky Bus Stadium where North Melbourne was too good for the Dolphins. 16-17-113 defeating Frankston 8-7-55. Now, because we won't have much of a post game, I may as well give you the ladder as it stands as we speak, because the only thing that now will be decided with this final term is percentage, with Richmond on their way to a very, very big win here against Sandringham. So this is the ladder as it stands as we speak. Richmond on top at 12-2, 184.45. Then Casey on percentage, second at 12-2 as well. Geelong at 10-4 are third, and Williamstown is the team in fourth spot at 9-5. Box Hill fifth, 8-5. One of three teams at 8-5. They are above Collingwood and Port Melbourne. Essendon make up the top 8 at 7-7. Footscray 7-7 as well in 9th spot. North Melbourne up to 7th as well. We'll see them next week on Peter Jackson VFL Live against Collingwood at Avalon Airport Oval. 11th as we speak is Sandringham. They'll stay there as well. A very similar percentage to North Melbourne, 87.53. Only 0.02 difference in percentage between the Kangaroos and the Zebras. Werribee at 4-10. Northern Blues 3-10, 13th place. Frankston second last at 2-12, in Coburg at 1-13. Pretty much take that as your ladder at the end of round 16. Only some percentage to be decided in this last quarter.
Stoney's hovering around the Richmond huddle.
Craig, what do you say to a team that's had 3 really good quarters and 1 quarter to go? What do you say to the team at this stage?
Yeah, I just want to maintain our predictability. It's conditions are pretty hard out here, hard to score up the other end. Just be really predictable and use all the things we come in the game trying to do. We just make sure we execute right to the end.
You've been happy with the 3 quarters about the team aspect of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been wrapped. I think we started the game really with great intent, and that quarter we scored probably 6 or 7 goals on the back of a really good play. So it's been a good game. I'd like to finish it off though.
Thanks, mate.
Beautifully done, Stoney. Thank you. Inside the Richmond huddle, 3-quarter time. Very relaxed coach. That's what you like to see, Stoney. A relaxed coach, happy with the way things are going.
Actually, I talked to a forward scout of another club just looking at this game, and he said they're pretty good. He said they're pretty complete, and you got to stop them from handball on the ball. Once they get that forward handball going, they're pretty hard to stop. So that's what Sandringham got to do in this last quarter.
I'll tell you what, Stoney, when it rains, it pours. Richmond were unbelievable on Friday night at AFL level against St Kilda, especially in the first half of that game. They're just absolutely flying at the moment, the Tigers, on all fronts. The VFL team's on top of the ladder as we speak. It reminds me about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, when both Hawthorn and Box Hill were both dominating.
There we go. There it is.
This is completely unbiased. It's just my observations.
Yeah.
When everything is going well, Stoney, when it rains, it pours.
No injury, so you got everything goes flows.
And then he gets a little smug, Oh, it's okay, the Hawks. Had a good win today. Yeah, don't worry. It's not about premierships now. We've got a couple in the boat.
Objective observation.
What we're going to try and do now is we're trying to get Sandringham to kick 5 or 6 goals in this last quarter.
All right.
That's what we're trying to
91 points is the margin. You mentioned the Hawks result today, 124-52.
Yeah, around the grounds, West Coast Eagles 7-6-48, leading the Western Bulldogs 3-4-22. The only other live game in action as we speak, not far away from Port Adelaide taking on GWS.
Ball back in the middle. Away we go in this final quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Akers just slapping the ball back. Now, can Sandringham put a bit of respectability on the scoreboard? Can they win this final quarter? I suppose that would have been the message from Sammy Hamill at 3-quarter time. Payton, it went through his hands. It's a bit untidy at the moment. We're still trying to exit the centre square. We do now. Caulfield just trying to get that ball away. Working through some traffic is Akers. He's been the best player for Sandy today, hands down. The kick going inside 50's been cut off. Patrick Naish takes it. Defensive 50 for the Tigers. He hugs the beach side as the kick intended for Lloyd. Had to pick it up on the half volley. Working his way around. Akers lost a handle on it. Now an opportunity again for Sandringham. A high ball inside the 50. Just over the back here. Trying to find some space. McLean. Boundary line wins out and we'll have it thrown in. Mark Stone continuing to look for the sun. Unfortunately, there's none on the beach side of the ground. The way he's going, he'll actually be doing his boundary work from the car park.
I'm actually going to walk around the other side of the ground. Can I do that?
Don't do that. You know who's over there. Ball tossed back in. As we don't want any sort of cross wires going on. As Lloyd just trying to clear the space. That's all he was looking to do. Will be thrown in. No deliberate there, but no one really protesting. 120 plays 29 2 minutes in. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices. Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer. Adam.
Bouncing ball here, eventually picked up by Weikart. Gets onto the right foot. We're inside 50. It was Cook, in fact, that got him in there. Out the back and out of play. Boundary throw in. It's the boundary umpire zips past Mark Stone, boundary side.
Sure, warm up, you could just take over the boundary riding role.
Well, boundary umpire.
Boundary umpire. Yeah. You already are the boundary
umpire.
You've got a good tank, don't you? A good tank to be a boundary umpire.
You do now.
I do now.
So I'll throw in, not far away from our broadcast area. Noel Bolter in the ruck here for the Tigers. Haven't seen that too often. Left foot snap on goal for the Zebras, goes across the face.
Smith.
That was Smith who kicked a goal late in the second term. 4-6-30 playing 18-12, 120 on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
Naish kicks to himself and then goes as far as he can up towards Mark Stone. He's actually going to drop back in. That's a juggling mark. Not paid, said the umpire, McLean.
Man down right in front of you, Stoney.
Yeah, keep an eye on that as the ball off hands. McLean's going to have another go at it. Slips the handball out. Goddard mummified at the moment. He's kicked a long ball, carries with the breeze. Has it stayed in? No. It's gone out of bounds on the full. It actually hit the behind post on the full.
Shawnee Manor, that was. He's okay. He's got it.
He is okay. The ball's going to go straight over his head. The ball here, right on 50 for Sandringham. Lloyd picks it up and off a step, just spirals it. It sits up. Townsend goes in to create the marking contest. It spills free. Working here is Goddard. The kick inside 50. Just again bounced off hands. It should be cleared. They're going to have another go at it. Bolter to try and get through. He's held up. The umpire said you're holding the footy. Incorrect disposal. And the ball will be in the hands of... I'll just see this player is one of the newer jumpers, I think. As the kick goes long and high and wide.
That could be
a man, Ray Canellan.
Canellan's wearing jumper number 3. And now he's wearing 73. I knew this would happen. Anyway, tough clear out. Here's an opportunity around the body. That Lomans, I think it is, who misses.
We're only 70 off there, Peter.
What?
You said you went from 3 to 73.
No, I said his third jumper number for the day.
Apologies. So Lloyd has it here. What a player he is at VFL level, Stoney. We know he's AFL listed, but at this level, Sam Lloyd, one of the very best. The ball gets fisted back toward the boundary line. Here's Manor, recovered from his earlier ailments. Only one hand to deal with, and he's holding the ball. Free kick to go Blake Acres' way. Apologies for anyone that might have heard that from the crowd. Yeah, FX might probably just turned up a bit too loud. Acres has the ball. Let's straighten up.
Be inventive at least.
Acres high toward the top of the square.
Good grab.
And a very good mark. We've seen that a few times today from Noel Bolter, and he finds Ellis.
Would that be incorrect disposal? Anyway, the ball in the path of Ellis. He could go for a run. He's made it into the middle of the ground. Good shepherding work from his teammates and overlap too. The kick going deep inside the 50. It's going to be mopped up down there by Claverino. Got to be careful. He's got some teammates in space, but the kick not great. It's into the path of Townsend. Right near the boundary line. Decided to go underground style. That wasn't the best of options because he had two Sandy players in front of him. And now they should eventually clear. It's a high ball. It's going to the back though, and it's going to be turned over again. And the Tigers dangerous. Miller across. Garthwaite kicks. And he finds his teammate right over on that other side of the ground. It's good evening. It's Ernest who's got it.
Hey, Townsend could have he could have a, you know what his nickname could be?
God.
Catch up.
Simon Townsend. He's former host of Wonderworld. That's all right. That was before your time as well.
On to Google again.
Dude's got it. As the kick up the line is going to be turned over again, I think. Mark or free kick. It's going to be a free kick out that outer side. Oh dear, Jake Arts has got it.
So I've heard of Glenn Ritchie, but not Simon Townsend. What do you host?
Glenn Ritchie, what?
Is it a game show? What?
Glenn Ridge.
Ridge.
Host of the century. No, this was Wonderworld. It was a kids show. Anyway, long ball inside the 50. Here's another opportunity for the Zebras, but it's 2-on-1. Garthwaite's got to be careful. He can't. Hayden dragged down in the tackle. He's going to get back up again, Hayden. Now he's going to find some space. Have a shot. Tight angle.
He's good.
And he's done it. He's kicked it. He's a good player, Jonathan Hayden. That's his third for the afternoon. And another one on the board as they move to 5-5-35. I have Sandringham playing 18-12-120, 7 gone, final quarter. Here on Peter Jackson VFL Love the Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices. Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
5-8-38, I think, is what the scoreboard operator has.
5-8-38, sorry about that. 5-8-38, the score line.
Well, we've got a player limping off the ground, a Richmond player.
Well, how would you know? You're about 150 metres
away. It looks like Jake Hart's to me. He's had a good game today. Lower back could potentially be the complaint. In a lot of pain. Back live.
It is Jake Hart, you're right. Adam.
Tigers yet to score in this last quarter here. The kick comes wide. Bouncing ball for Bolton in front of Zilla. Claims it now and just shrugs off Zilla. Did very well. Shea Bolton comes in board with his kick. And that's effective as well. The mark taken by Wood. Now Stengel. Tigers into attack. Kick comes toward the pocket, but it's cut off by Owens. I reckon he's made a good impression today. Oh! Somehow the ball's been coughed up, and Brewer kicks a very easy goal.
He handballed it straight to him.
I have no idea what happened there.
He handballed it straight to him.
A goal on the board for the Tigers. 19-12, 126 to 5-8-38. Confusion all round. That sums up the day, I think.
He handballed it straight to him.
He did.
Brewer's got now 3 goals for the game.
Actually, you know Simon Townsend. Simon Townsend's Wonderworld. Was it Pete?
Yes.
What was the dog's name?
I was just about to think of that. Woodrow the dog?
Adam, there's some homework for you.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on.
Welcome to my wonder world. That one I do remember.
That's right.
It's a world of wonder.
So it wasn't a game show, was it?
No, it was a kids show.
Afternoons.
It's kids
Afternoon?
Game show.
No, not a game show.
James Sherry hosted one.
That was amazing. No,
it was.
A star amazing. Great show, that one. I like that one. Anyway, enough of kids shows for the moment. As Lamb, just tell you how how highly this game is going. It's not really going up through the gears, to be honest. It was over at quarter time. Morris is worried off the footy here. Inside Sandringham's 50. Hayden being good today. Morris again pushing forward. Oh, he's knocked over. And the umpire says that was a little bit too crude from Zilla. And Morris will take the free kick. He won't mind. 9 minutes into this final quarter.
No fear, Stephen Morris. No fear at all.
Never throughout his career as he kicks outside the 50. High ball. Mark going to be paid? It is. That is a good mark to McLean. He's 65 from goal. He's too far out even with the breeze you would think to score. So he's just going to pop it up really high. Top of the goal square. Oh, good fly. That's a good mark, Canellan. Good grab, good hands. And he'll line up and have a shot top of the goal square. Came floating over the top. And, well, just a bit of respectability on the scoreline here if Ray Canellan can convert. Kicks and goals. First for the afternoon. 6-8-44 plays 19-12-126. Richmond leading 10.5 gone in this final quarter. For Tyre Power, get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power.
And both sides are really still having a crack, and Sandringham still attacking the footy, and good to see him getting some results to the scoreboard.
I think it's just a class difference today.
Yeah, that's all this.
Jake Hartz looks like he's trying to walk off his ailment. Having a chat to one of the Tigers trainers. Around the grounds, 8-9-57. West Coast leading the Western Bulldogs at 3-5-23.
Wonderwell was like a magazine program. Lots of different little segments.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I'm completely lost on that one.
Actually, if you do some homework, as the ball comes towards the boundary line, it'll go out of bounds.
Giving me a lot of homework today, Stoney.
Yeah, Simon Townsend's Wonderworld. Remember the commentators or the people who did the segments who went on and become, presenters of their own right, or got into TV otherwise?
Yeah, I do. I need to think about who they were. There were a few.
There were.
Anyway, Jonathan Coleman was one, wasn't it?
He was, correct.
I know nothing about this conversation at the moment.
You call the play then. We'll just reminisce in the background.
Will do as the Zebras go back inside 50. Whistle after the kick. There's a runner that's too close.
Yep, free kick to the...
Yep, it's going to Lamb, I think.
Can't tell which runner.
It would have to be a Richmond runner.
Yeah,
it was a Richmond runner.
So downfield, it's going to be Lamb. Or no, he's going to have to send it back toward the middle of the grounds. And the free kick to be taken
the umpire signalled that it was supposed to be downfield.
Langled's a helicopter ball inside 50, just too hot for Canellan, pushed out of it. Brewer's in the region for Richmond. Hand pass off, and now it's Sequel, held onto the ball, almost ran a full 360. Snap on goal toward the square. 2-on-1 here for the Zebras. Lamb can't take the mark, and it slams into the behind post. 6-8-44 playing 19-12, 126.
57 plays 23. Eagles leading the Bulldogs around the grounds. 34-point lead, 27 into the second there.
Alter in the ruck against Law Metz there. Now Lamb, hand pass off. Canellan snap. Canellan goal.
Yep.
Another one for the Zebras. All junk time now. 7-8-50 to 19-12, 126 on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
It's his second goal for the afternoon. As we've played almost 13 minutes in this final quarter. Next week, Peter Jackson VFL Live. 1 o'clock bounce, 12:45 on air. Avalon Airport Oval. North Melbourne taking on Collingwood. Big game.
Forward to that one alongside Anthony Stankets.
Yep.
Stoney with us?
I'm on the week after.
Hilly.
Glenn Hill back with that one.
Simon Townsend also used to host a show called, do you remember a show called TV TV? Used to be
No.
on the ABC, 6:30 before the news.
Is that before he was on Simon
No,
Townsend?
after.
Okay.
After. And it was like just review of television programs. Great show, that one.
TV show about TV shows.
Yes.
Sounds like Gogglebox. Back in the
But
middle.
not watching TV shows. Well, I guess it was reviewing them. Anyway, let's go. As the ball here is in the path of Canellan for Sandringham. The kick is a little bit flat. Bolton went through his hands. Now Townsend, that player in question. And Adam's got no idea what we're talking about. It ends up with Nace through hands. Miles. So Bolton in all sorts of trouble. He's wrapped up in the tackle. Given plenty of time by the umpire. The ball eventually released. It's into the path here of Caulfield. That's Richmond's Caulfield. He's worried off the footy, but still some time. Nash, the steadier, dribbling ball, finds Ballard. Ballard can clear. He goes out towards the beach side, right near the boundary line. It's kept in. Worried off it. There was Baker, but they've still got the numbers here. Brewer did well, worked it back to Nash. Just outside defensive 50 for Richmond on our broadcast side. Bit of glare coming off the other side of the ground. They might need to move that truck as the kick going along. Yes, that's right, as the game's going on. Working it out here.
Goddard down.
Keep an eye on that one then. As the ball going along, he is down Goddard. He's been in the wars today. The kick to 50. Trying to push it forward, Lomans. It went absolutely nowhere. They pile on too high, said the umpire. Free kick. Will it go Zilla's way? It will. And he'll take it from 52. What's the Breeze doing, Stoney?
Yeah, if he could get the journey here. 4-goal Breeze. Goddard off the ground at the moment.
Oh, he went the little drive-by. And now they need another one. Here's a chance. The kick going long by Freeman to the line. It's off hands. He got the handball received from Caulfield, who was not feeling it. Managed to get it through for a behind. Midway through this final quarter. 19-12, 126. The Tigers as they kick the ball out long up towards defensive 50. Now it's going to come straight back in again. Working hard, Weikart. Handball over the top. They've got to have a shot here. Got to have a shot. And a goal. There you go. Langlands kicks it. It's his first for the afternoon. As they move to 8-9-57 Sandringham. 19-12, 126 Richmond. 15 and a half gone. Final quarter, Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice and lower prices. Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
There's another goal. Good to another see. Sandringham showing a bit of character in this last. Good to see.
Absolutely.
So the effort's there, Stoney. They're just outclassed.
It's class. That's right. I mean, Richmond put their foot off the pedal, and Sandringham, get their game going a bit and score some late goals. It's how footy works.
Thoughts of Mark Stone at boundary side in his 2008 edition of the VFL radio jacket. A bunch of old sponsors on it.
Angela Caterns was on there. Wonderworld.
Yeah, okay. What was the woman that the
Edith Bliss.
Bliss.
Edith's Bliss.
That's what I was looking for.
Our man Dirty Ernest almost got a touch there, but it's towards half forward.
Deadly Ernest.
Lamb takes the mark here. Now on the mark, he's just inside 50. This would be a big kick from Lamb.
Oh. Gee.
17 goals for the season, goalless today. Kicks from 55. Right foot, goal umpire working near side, missing near side. So Sandringham moved to 8-10-58. Richmond 19-12, 126.
So it started on Channel 10, then moved to Channel 9. I knew that. There's the ball here in the pocket. Lloyd's got it. There's the kick going in short. Is okay. Caulfield takes the mark for Richmond. Kick going outside the 50. Dangerous footy. Brewer getting in there, making a nuisance of himself. It's on the deck. Mike Cook at the bottom of the pack. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Time winding down. Richmond will go to the top of the VFL ladder again. Toss back up. Clean getting the tap down. Now they've got first use. Here's a shot. It's a long ball. It's off target though. And through for another behind. 8-11-59 playing 19-12-126. Next week for us, North Melbourne and Collingwood on Peter Jackson VFL Live. So the kick by Miller goes right off the side of the boot from the kick in. I don't think that touched anyone, and it will be out on the full. Free kick going the way of Sandringham. Goddard, who's back on the ground. His kick is short, finds Canellan. So Canellan should go back and have a shot here from just outside the 50. Shouldn't have too much trouble with the distance. 8-11-59. Sandringham. 19-12-126 Richmond. Tyre Power scoreboard. 18.5 gone in the final term. As Canellan steps in. The kick is a high one. It's got the distance. It hasn't got the accuracy, missing to the near side. 8-12. They move to Richmond 19-12. So almost 19 minutes gone in this final quarter on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
4 goals, 7 for this final term for the Zebras on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Tigers have it here. Townsend goes over the top. Ball that tries to set up Baker. Just bounced away from him. Owen slipped over as soon as he got the ball. Baker just slammed into him. Ball up on the outer wing. Beach Road side of the ground. Round 16 comes to a close. Tigers will be your leader on top of the Peter Jackson VFL ladder tonight. Ball's on the outer wing here. Just Humani over the top of it.
Just wonder whether the Tigers, whether, you know, what happened in the grand final serves as any inspiration for this team.
Go inside 50. And the Zebras on the last side of the fence will repel this one back out. Short little pass, okay. Mark taken by Freeman. He's looking near side here. The kick for Lormetz, just slightly overcooked. And then Miller watches it go out of play. So we have a boundary throw in. Right at the interchange gates. The circle waits to come back out onto the ground for the Zebras alongside Joyce, who's the man that does come back out onto the ground for noon. Interesting little piece of play there from Cusack in the ruck. Miscued his fist on the ball. Freeman with the tackle, ball up.
Let me run you through the run home for Richmond. They have, next week they've got Werribee, the Swinburne Centre.
The Tiger off.
And Geelong at GMHBA Stadium. That'll be the TV game. Round 19 they got Williamstown at the Swinburne Centre. Then they got the bye, and then they got Frankston. So I think top spot, they've almost got it locked away, I would say, with that run.
Like the Tigers in that game next week.
Yeah. Yes.
Tiger off, do we like that?
Tiger off. Well, they'll be interesting playing Geelong the week after that. I think that's
a feline off.
Yes, and then Williamstown after that. So the way they're playing at the moment, you can see them winning all of those.
I'd say so.
Yeah. And then obviously Frankston after the bye, around 21.
Struggling to draw a parallel between a Seagull and a Tiger. The Zebras work their way towards half forward. Ernest in the right spot, although Garthwaite came late. Kick comes wide. Please don't put me off, Peter. Hayden to Lamb, takes it point blank range.
Jed Lamb hasn't kicked a goal today. He's the leading goal kicker for Sandringham, 17.
He did miss one earlier in the quarter.
Level with Jonathan Hayden now, who moved up to 17 with his 3 today. The run home for Sandringham, I'll give you that in a moment as well.
Lamb, point blank range, it does not miss. 9-12-66 to 19-12, 126. The margin at 10 goals once more.
On the Tyre Power scoreboard, get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. The run home for Sandy. They've got the Box Hill Hawks here next week in the TV game. Then the bye in round 18. Then their run home. They've got Casey, Northern Blues and Collingwood.
Tough.
Yep. So their last home game is next week. And then they play Casey Fields, Preston and Victoria Park. I think we're doing that game, the Victoria Park game, Sandringham and Collingwood in the final round. It is tough, but they needed to win today. I'd say it's almost, pretty much a done deal. I think mathematics comes into it, but not really. Half time over in the West, Adam?
8-9-57, West Coast Eagles over the Western Bulldogs, 3-5-23.
Soldo getting the tap down. It's been taken out by Freeman. A kick kicks the ball deep inside the 50. Ballard comes in to intercept. Sets Morris running. They've got some handball loop over the top. Ellis is one of those. His kick short is good. And it's been taken by Wood. Brandon Wood. Centre wing on the beach side of the ground. Kick. Finds Morris. Thank you, Phil Cleary. Just wandered into the boundary. Mike. Kick finding Bolton.
Phil Cleary now running footy opposite West Coburg, Stoney.
Really?
Really?
And Peter. Yep.
Kick is short.
Is that a
Morris?
Official gig?
Yep.
Okay.
Who kicks long, Morris, deep inside the 50. It's going to be cut off. Player taken off the footy. Lomans will take the free kick.
Both his boys playing senior footy there as well, Dinny and Rory. Rory had some time at Coburg.
He did. Oh, it's good to see that Phil's still got an association with Coburg, of course, regularly down at the Lions.
Mind you, not going very well, West Coburg, bottom of the ladder.
That's all right. Got to start somewhere. There's Bolton. Over the top, Wood. Just being forced back. Miles. Slick handballs here. And there is Ernest, who says good evening and works it to the top of the square, where it's going to be turned over and taken away by Payton, who can have a couple of bounces here. Was dragged out eventually, and it's been turned over. No, he's going to take the free kick. He might have been grabbed a little bit too high. 24 and a half minutes gone. I'm looking at the clock, 4:35. We've got 10 minutes of our broadcast left. Got to be a quick interview, Stoney. Is the kick going long? Lamb, front position, couldn't take the mark. Morris just dribbling a ball forward before he was set upon. Hayden, he's got to lay the tackle. Now Naish just going around the body for Richmond. His kick up towards centre half forward. Plenty of numbers here for the Tigers. Townsend just trying to put the ball into space. Lloyd brought down the tackle, still got the handball away. Pack of players. Umpire says, give it to me. 25 minutes gone. How many goals have we had here? 1 goal for Richmond. We've had 5 for Sandringham. With the breeze in this final quarter. Oh, sharked off the pack. Wood for the Tigers. Touched by Joyce as it goes through for a rushed behind. 9-13, 67. It's 9-12, 66 Richmond's Sandringham. It's Richmond's score, of course, that's changing. As the ball goes over the line on centre wing on the beach side. 9-13, 127. Plays 9-12, 66. 25 minutes gone. Tyre Power scoreboard.
It's been one of those days.
Ball to be thrown in.
Throw in.
I've got 8 minutes left.
Looking forward to North Melbourne and Collingwood next week on Peter Jackson VFL
going
Live.
home.
No, not quite. Payton has it. Well, big win coming up here for the Tigers on top of the ladder in the Peter Jackson VFL. We've had a lot of fun watching him today. As Caulfield's handball for Townsend. Simon gives it off. And then Caulfield brought down, holding the ball. Good tackling there. Sequel wins the free kick for the Zebras. Might think about a shot here. Slams it onto the right boot. That ball is tracking right and misses. to the right. That is now 9:13.67. It's a 19:13, 126.
In this record, is Townsend from Leeton, New South Wales? Is he a Leeton boy?
He is, isn't he?
Is he?
I thought he was. The
Okay.
kick going outside the 50. And it's going to come straight back in again. I quickly look up that stat. It's Akers who's got it. He's 60 from goal. Well, it says GWS Giants, but I think he originally was. As the ball off hands, Silvestro to do the mopping up work. Handball across, Naish works it to Miles, who can take a bounce, still inside defensive 50, draws the opponent, and now a bit of fancy footwork out there from Stengel, who's just working in circles around Joyce and kicks up the line, up to centre wing where Noon comes in to take the mark. Works it across, Seckel had a good game today. He's kicked long though, Garth waits to mop up here. Just maybe a hand in the back from Lamb. It goes over the line, we will have it thrown in. 27 minutes gone. Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. Still half time over in the West. Earlier a win for Hawthorn in the Peter Jackson VFL. Wins for North Melbourne over Frankston and the Northern Blues over Werribee. Soldo just pushed forward in the ruck contest. Still managed to get it to ground to Naish, whose kick up to defensive 50 is going to be turned over again, you would think. On hands and knees there is Cook. It's right near the boundary line. Hasn't quite gone over yet. Still inside attacking 50 for Sandringham, and the Tigers will look to clear. Now it's off hands. Goddard put the hand in, and we will have it thrown in. Time ticking down. Who are you going to interview, do you reckon?
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Just the closest player to you, which would be Jacob Ballard as we speak, probably.
Who's been the best player on the ground?
That's a really good question. It's been pretty even, hasn't it?
William Baker early, maybe. Silvestro early. Arts.
Townsend's been very good today.
He has. This is the ball in dispute here. Over the top. Here's Bolton. Can go for a run through the middle of Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Puts the afterburners on. Handball across. Stengel thought about giving it off. Decided to have the shot. No, he went to the goal square. Not a problem. Bolter kicks the goal. Bolter was waiting there. He gets his second for the afternoon. That's their 20th. 2013-133. Plays 9:13.67. 28, almost 29 minutes gone in this final quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Now just a point away from doubling Sandringham's score for today. 66 points the margin.
They've kicked some high scores throughout this season. Their highest back in round one, 21-15, 141 against Port Melbourne. This will be their 8th score over 100 points for the season.
A very healthy percentage at 177.82 on the live ladder as well. That's a gap of 26 percentage points over the KC Demons. Ball's on the Beach Road wing here.
And that's why I think they'll, top spot is theirs to lose, really, because of that percentage, because they're miles in front. Absolutely miles in front. Maybe speak to the skipper, Stevie Morris, Stoney. See what you can do there.
Last time I spoke to him, I was at Victoria Park. Were you here then?
Probably.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I wasn't. No, I missed that one.
Okay.
Second highest score for Richmond, 21-13, 139. So this slides into their third highest score for the season.
How long have we got, Pete?
Well, it depends on the siren. We've got 4 minutes left
of our coverage. 30, Longer. It's had a quiet second half, Billy Longer today. Now Freeman runs into Silvestro. Pyle driven into the deck and gets the free kick to Silvestro. Too far out to score, so the kick comes wide. Mark taken by Miles. He goes over the top for the man that I think's probably best on today, Townsend.
Well, you think he's probably rolling himself into the 3 votes, but let's see if he can finish it off here, Adam.
There's the final siren. Kicks a point. It's exactly double Sandringham's score for today. A goal, and the winning margin will be 72 points in favour of the Tigers. They are on top by the ladder after round 16. It's a very difficult shot though. Townsend, man on the mark, just around 50. Kicks on the way. Jacob Townsend's going to go across the face, and not register a score. So the final score here, 20-13, 133 Richmond, 2 good for Sandringham, 9-13, 67. A 66-point win for the Tigers.
As the song rings out in the background, much more competitive quarter. They put 5 goals on Sandringham to just 2 for the Tigers, but the damage was done. A 9-0 first quarter, and they get the job done comfortably. 3 goals to Liam Baker and Blake Greer. And then we've got 2 goals to Sam Lloyd, Noah Bolter, Jake Arts and Tom Silvestro, and singles to Miles, Stengel, Soldo, Ballard, Woods and Cusack. And for Sandringham, 3 to Jonathan Hayden, being one of the best on the ground for Sandy, and singles to Lamb, Freeman, Langlands and Smith, and 2 goals in there to Ray Canellan in the final quarter. Well, they led by 59 points at quarter time and then ran it out from there. Stoney, you are there with the skipper.
Steve, good result. Good 3 quarters. I mean that last quarter, but a good result. Good 3 quarters from the boys.
Yeah, it was. We focused on the process, and obviously the process broke down a little bit in the last quarter, but it was a pretty strong breeze, and when the game was there to be won, I thought we all stood up pretty well, and it was great to have a victory out here against Sandy on their home deck.
Very strong team out there. You've got some really good players that could be playing AFL football, but it's good that they're playing as a team. You've got them all really gelling really well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, and I think we've got a few players on our list in our VFL list that could probably be playing AFL footy as well. So, but we have seen over the last couple of weeks we've had a lot of AFL players out and had VFL listed guys come in and play their role superbly and put us in the position that we're in at this stage of the season.
Top spot, something you'd like to get at the end of the year, before the end of the season?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Everyone strives to be up the pointy end, give themselves every chance to be competitive in the final series, because they're pretty tough to win flags, but we want to give ourselves every chance, and if we're up the top end, then we'll certainly do that.
Last year, did that sort of anything been said about last year's result, the defeat of Hands of Port Melbourne in that final?
Oh, probably just the way we played our footy in that game. Try not to linger on it too much, really. We're trying to focus on what we can control going forward, but we also try to learn lessons from every game, and there'll be lessons out of today's game, and there were certainly lessons out of that grand final last year as well.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah,
thanks.
beautifully done, Stoney, as our Aussie digital audience leaves us for this afternoon. And we wrap up our coverage for today as well. Thank you, Stoney, for your work on the boundary this afternoon. 2013, 133 Richmond, Sandringham, 9-13, 67. Quickly, some other scores.
8-9, 57 West Coast, Western Bulldogs 3-5, 23. And they're underway at Adelaide Oval, 1 straight 6, Port Adelaide, GWS 1 behind.
Wins for Richmond, the Northern Blues and North Melbourne today in the Peter Jackson VFL. Next week at Avalon Airport Oval, 12:45 on air. We will be live for the match between North Melbourne and Collingwood. All the latest news, results, information, everything you need, vfl.com.au. And plenty to look forward to in coming weeks. We're in the run home to the finals.
Looking forward to it. Just getting warmed up.
We are. So big couple of matches coming up. We still think 10 teams in contention for the flag as well. But until next week, thanks for your company this afternoon. Big win for the Tigers here over Sandringham. We'll catch you next week on Peter Jackson VFL Live.